I am Midnight Mike. This is Why I Hate the New York Jets live, and I am your late night New York Jets host, coming to you 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on a Saturday night, and we're live. This is the best Saturday night live that you're going to get, especially if it's talking football, talking about the New York Jets. I am going to go down into the comment section as usual and leave a link so that you can call in and talk to me. I love when people call in and talk to me. I'm hoping later tonight, get my buddy Matty in there and train him a little more in 80s trivia. That'll be later in the night to take on the champ, Dr. Ocho. But first, we have a lot to talk about with the New York Jets. We have a lot to talk about with the championship games coming up tomorrow. I want to know your thoughts. I want to know your picks, your predictions. Fight, New York Jets, fight. I want to know your picks, your predictions for the championship games tomorrow. In the NFC, you got the San Francisco 49ers taking on the Detroit Lions. And, of course, in the AFC, you have the Baltimore Ravens taking on the defending Super Bowl champion, Kansas City Chiefs. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a fun championship Sunday, especially since all of the AFC East teams are gone. And the Dolphins did what they always do. I mean, let's be honest. Since what was the stat? I talked about it with Honest Abe on our show. I'll talk about that in a minute. But the New York Jets have more playoff victories since 2002 than the Buffalo Bills and the Miami Dolphins combined. And now, granted, Buffalo, they've been to an AFC championship game. They have had strong teams. They've won some playoff games. But when it comes down to whose history over the past 20, 25 years that I'd rather have the Jets than the Dolphins. Let's be honest. 2 AFC championship games, 6 playoff wins. We've had 13 years of misery, but let's be real here. At least we've won in the playoffs when we've got there, right? Right. The Bills, on the other hand, I don't know. They have been good lately. They really have been good lately. The Dolphins, I never take them seriously. You cannot take the Dolphins, and especially the Dolphins fans, seriously. You cannot. I want you guys to go down in the comments, talk to me, tell me, do you think that the New York Jets, I do a show. It comes out every Wednesday morning. By noon, it'll be out. And it's on all your major podcast platforms. You could check Spotify, you could check Apple Podcasts, you could check Google Play, whatever it is, and just search make sure you put the Undroppables. And on that feed, you will see Honest Jets Talk. That's the name, that Honest Abe has been going with since he started the show. But he called me up. We talked for weeks upon weeks. And now I am on officially co-hosting the show. We're going to change the name because it's a little different of a show. But we had a lot of fun. The last, if you do go to the Undroppables on any of those major podcast platforms, we're not on their YouTube channel. We're not on the website. Just check Spotify, check Google, check Apple Podcasts, and you will get the most recent episode of Honest Jets Talk. We talked about it. How far are the Jets away? And I told him, I said, with a healthy Aaron Rodgers, with a healthy offensive line, I don't fear the Chiefs. And I mean healthy offensive line that's been upgraded in the offseason. I'm not talking about the trash we've been dealing with the past 2 years. Like I've said, you keep Tip and you keep AVT, maybe McGovern as a backup, some depth. There's a few other guys maybe you keep as depth. But other than that, We're talking about a healthy offensive line, refurbished offensive line, a healthy Aaron Rodgers, and I don't fear teams like the Kansas City Chiefs, especially not this year. We should have beat them. Go back and watch the game. If it weren't for some very shady calls from the officials, and it's clear as day. It's not like a disgruntled fan being like, "Oh man, the refs really screwed us." No, they actually did, and they've done that to many teams this season to get the narrative that they've wanted for the NFL. It's not just the Jets suffering, folks. It's many teams across the league to get to where we are right now with the 4 teams remaining. They wanted that Kansas City Buffalo game. They wanted that because I guarantee you it did monster ratings. But just to let you know, down in the comments section, this is what it looks like. If you want to call in and talk to me, that's the old Midnight Mike Show logo. Well, I mean, it's the Midnight Mike Show logo when I'm not talking about the Jets that you're going to see, right? And just that link to StreamYard, boom, you're on with me. We start talking. Oh, good. Maddie's already here. Let me see what he wrote. I'll be in the green room in just a few. Terrific. Because on our last episode, I started training Maddie to take on the champ Dr. Ocho in 80s trivia. Movies, music, TV. And I had a bunch of questions. We do it at the end of the show. So you could stick around, see what the Midnight Mike Show used to be like. And my old podcast, focusing on 80s and 90s. But if you just want the Jets stuff, we're going to be talking about that here at the top of the show, in the middle of the show. And Maddie will call in. He'll talk Jets with me. On the thing, I want to go over the legacy uniforms again because a lot of mock-ups have come up on the internet. The best ones I've seen come up are from Jake Buff 22. I want to give credit where credit is due. It's at Jake Buff 22 on Twitter. I will show you what he came up with for the legacy uniforms that we will be changing to next year. If not, I'm gonna go fucking crazy if they don't go to the current uniforms are so goddamn ugly. I don't know what they were thinking. It looks like they took the legacy uniform style, mashed it with a little bit of the Namath style with like the main logo, the primary logo, that logo. I don't mind that. That's actually the only thing I don't mind because I think it's a little cleaner than with the NY in the background. I think it's just a little cleaner. But the uniforms were a big mistake. The cities on the front, if they try to pull that with the legacy uniforms, I'm going to go fucking nuts. I'm telling you that right now. I hate that. I hate it on our jerseys, the New York. I hate it on Cleveland's uniforms. I hate the ATL on Atlanta's. They're fucking ugly. They're ugly. Nike ruined a lot of uniforms, and I feel like they've gotten enough blowback because this year you had the Jets going back to their legacy uniforms. You had the Seahawks going back to those seafoam uniforms with the silver and whatever, where they got out the glow-in-the-dark looking green, which I actually don't mind that much. I don't mind that glow-in-the-dark green that used to be on the old, like if you were an 80s kid, the old Ked sneakers. You'd have those dark blue sneakers with that greenish glowing looking, and that would glow in the dark. I think it'd be cool if the Seahawks made that stuff glow in the dark. That'd be cool. I'm like coming out. You have them travel through some ultraviolet light to charge it, like out the tunnel, and then they come out in the darkness. And that would be cool. But their throwback uniforms, those seafoam uniforms, those are awesome. The Bucks went back to the creamsicle, and those it's like a 50-50 on whether you like them or not. The Titans came back with their Houston Oilers uniforms. Those looked sharp. That's what they got to do. And when the Giants also wear their uniforms that are blue, white with the little red trim, and the Giants are, oh, man. The old Phil Simms, Mark Bavaro, LT days. I'm not a Giants hater either. I'm not a Giants hater. I'll tell you that right now. But yeah, there's a lot going on. A lot I want to talk about. These legacy uniforms. I have some pictures, some mock-ups that Jake Buff did, and we'll talk about those. I want to talk about how Breece Hall got robbed of Comeback Player of the Year. Maybe not the full title, but Breece Hall got robbed of at least the nomination, right? Because there's no reason why Breece Hall, after getting a torn ACL, should not at least even been mentioned. These are the guys that got the nomination for Comeback Player of the Year. Baker Mayfield. All right. I get it. You know, he's had some terrible seasons. Then he had that like one really good game last year for the Rams. And then Tampa brought him on and he did more than asked for. He had a Cinderella year with those Bucks. And I have to give him a lot of credit. I can't take away that credit. I'm not like that. But yeah, he had the nomination's fair. Joe Flacco actually did an interview where he was talking about, we'll talk about who he would give the nomination or give the award to. But he talked about, he's like, what comeback? I didn't come back from anything. And it's almost like they're giving it to him as an insult to the fucking Jets. No, you did come back from it. You were on the Jets, remember? Remember, Joe? Remember how pathetic you looked because you were a New York Jet? But now you went like 4-1 and led the Browns to the playoffs. Like, wow, comeback. Man, I see what they're doing. I see what they're saying. And to be fair, yeah. The past couple years, Joe Flacco sucked on the Jets, and I can't even deny that. I don't think any Jets fan can. We all knew Damar Hamlin would get the nod because he died on the field. Like, come on now. No, seriously, like, honestly, I was watching that night as much as you were, and that was scary. When they ended the game, that's when you knew how real serious that was. A comeback player of the year? He died on the field, and he came back the next season and played some snaps. Made no real impact on the game whatsoever. I accept the nomination, but I don't know if I'm accepting him winning comeback player of the year. I mean, I feel like if he came back and made a difference, made some impact, okay, but the nomination's there. That should be good enough, in my opinion. Tua just sucks. I don't understand it. What do you mean comeback player of the year? Look at his last 4 or 5 games. I'm including the playoff game. Look at that. What? And Matthew Stafford, I guess. I mean, Tua and Stafford had injuries, but not like BREECE, not a torn ACL. I got Matty in the green room. I'm going to pull him up soon. Don't worry, Matty. I'm getting ready for you. Oh, and I see what he's wearing too. We're going to have the whole sack exchange on this show in just a minute. Just a minute. We're going to have the whole sack. Well, two of the main players, the two most impactful players of the sack exchange. But yeah, BREECE. I'll give you BREECE. Not 994 yards rushing. Okay, 994, which would have been 1,000 had the Jets mathematician or whoever it was on the sideline not told Robert Saleh that, oh no, BREECE got the 1,000. BREECE got the 1,000. He's good. Then they kneel down. He could have easily gotten those last 6 yards with the final 13 seconds. They had like a timeout or two. You know, he could have gotten those 6 yards and busted over 1,000. And I think they would have done it for him because he would have said, yeah, let me do it. Let me get it. And they would have fought and got him that 4 yards, 5 touchdowns rushing. Then they only figured out, let's try throwing the ball to BREECE because he's literally fire when he gets the ball. He'll in the open field, forget about it. Halfway through the season, they figured that out, and he had 591 yards receiving with 4 touchdowns, 0 fumbles lost on the season, for a total of 1,585 yards and 9 touchdowns on the season. The Jets, that might be all the Jets touchdowns for the whole season. I know it's not, but this is why I hate the Jets. This is why I hate the New York Jets. So BREECE Hall, after a torn ACL, over 1,500 yards from scrimmage, 9 touchdowns on the year, didn't get the nod over Tua or Stafford or Flacco. Really? I'm going to leave Flacco in. I think he deserves it. Same with Mayfield. Same with Hamlin, the nod. But Tua and Stafford, no, BREECE needs to take one of those spots. That was ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. We'll see what Matty has to say. I'm going to bring him in. Hopefully we don't have the problems we had last week. But if we do, I know that Matty knows how to handle himself. Matty, what's up?
Good evening, my brother. How are you?
Doing good. So now we officially have
Klepto. I have to say, I saw your shirt and I was gonna wear something else. I was like, nah, it's go time for ho time. We gotta sack exchange it up.
Yeah, I figured I went the whole legacy this time, the whole 80s throwback gear this week. So it just
really
feels
quick.
good.
Can I have a 30-second soapbox? One, I know it's a New York-based show. People of New York, your New York Knicks are good.
Mm-hmm.
They're a good team. You should be excited. Yep. I think they have one more trade in them, but I think they are very much trending in the right direction. And two, I don't know if everybody knows this, but it is International Holocaust Remembrance Day. So, just a little something important. Not going to preach on it, not going to ruin the show or anything or make it a thing.
Bring the spirits up.
But it's just important to remember, hey.
No, I agree.
And the reason this is kind of a thing for me, one of my daughters in high school, and they're teaching her almost nothing about it. It's so dumbed down. So we're spending a little time tomorrow. We're gonna watch like Schindler's List, and I've told her she needs to read Mouse. But I just want to bring it up because I haven't seen anything about it except for on my, of all things, my Bob's Burgers calendar. But keep it in mind, it's important.
I have a question for you. Have you ever seen the documentary World War II in color?
Yes.
Awesome.
Powerful.
Awesome.
Powerful.
Yeah, that's something. How old are your daughters?
The ones that are at home are 16 and 10.
I might be much for the 10-year-old.
No, I'm not going to show her color. No. Yeah. I feel like the Holocaust needs to be taught in high school. I mean, when you and I were kids, I mean, like the book Mouse. I don't know if you're familiar with Mouse.
I am familiar with it. It's actually big in high schools now.
Yeah, well, it's banned now.
I mean, it's in my high school.
Oh, out here in Colorado.
I work at one.
Yeah. Oh, do you really? That's cool.
I do. Yeah.
No, it's straight up banned out here. So I told my daughter, I said, look, you're going to read this book. Like, I read it as a sophomore in high school without any motivation. I was very much interested in World War II. And to this day, I still study the Eastern Front of World War II, the Soviet side. I think that's fascinating.
Yeah.
But I don't want to turn this into a big soapbox about World War II.
No, we'll get back to the Jets, but
Holocaust. I just feel like it's very important that we don't forget the Holocaust, because from talking to my daughter, it's been very much kind of whitewashed, and it's just, okay, this was bad, whatever. And I'm like, when you and I were in high school, we were watching black and white videos of bulldozers just like traipsing bodies into open graves.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, like, my daughter's like, we read a book called Night and whatever, and and I'm like, you're not getting this. And I know it's uncomfortable, and it needs to be uncomfortable. People need to see what's happening.
People nowadays forget that the governments can take over and rule their citizens with an iron fist
and do terrible things.
Yeah, absolutely.
And, it's just one of those things where it's very important to me as a father, and I don't want to scar my children, but I'm like, you need to understand, this wasn't just like, oh, some people died. So
yeah. Well, right. Absolutely. Now answer this question. What do you think? I was talking about BREECE Hall getting robbed of at least a nomination for Comeback Player of the Year. What is your take?
I think he should have got nominated, especially over like Tua and whatever. Yeah. But the problem I have with the Comeback Player of the Year is it's because I was really ready to talk about this with you, and then I just was like, oh, I got to do my soapbox. But Comeback Player of the Year is always going to be such a homer type award. Everybody's going to feel like their guy is the guy. It's kind of like how my kid is the smartest, my kid is the most beautiful. So I get it. I honestly, with Comeback Player of the Year, I feel like as a fan, I'm going to have my Comeback Player of the Year, and I really don't care who wins it. I know who I feel like was the Comeback Player of the Year. And it's kind of like, as a comic book person, I always tell people, look, if you hate something, make your own continuity. You can ignore stuff. You can accept that you like this. For me, like, BREECE is definitely up there. Like, and so if the NFL doesn't nominate him, fine. But I know he had an amazing comeback.
But it seems like oh, and I was talking about it before, that they not only left out BREECE, but they also nominated Flacco, and Flacco himself said in an interview, like, I didn't come back from anything. I was playing the last couple years,
Yeah, and I respect him for that. I definitely respect him for that. But as a Jets fan, we're always going to be the Jon Snow of the NFL.
Yeah.
We're not, we're the bastard child. And until we basically, and I'm going to put this on Jets management, coaching, and players, until we get out there and handle business and establish that the New York Jets, as Method Man would say, ain't nothing to fuck with, it won't matter.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just until the Jets show that dumb slogans mean nothing and wins on the field do, talk is cheap. And I hate to sound all doom and gloom, but I kind of like this as a wake-up call to the Jets, which is no one's going to give you respect. You go out there, you earn respect, you take respect, and then people go and notice you.
Well, the worst part about it was that the Jets earned respect in what was it, 09 and 10, and went to 2 back-to-back AFC Championship games. And then when we had respect, we not only did we piss it away, but the butt fumble. And it's like, I know that's not that big a deal to Jets fans. It's like whatever, but they've blown that up.
Oh yeah, that's just they've made that such a thing. And then the Fail Mary came in, and it's like compounding a felony. It's like, like Jesus, guys, come on.
When Mark Sanchez, and when people talk about the Mark Sanchez, Rex Ryan Jets, the first thing that a non-Jets fan is going to say is butt fumble.
Butt fumble. And the rest of us are going to AFC Championship games. What are you talking about?
Yeah, how many teams make back-to-back AFC Championship games? It doesn't come,
especially with one of them as a rookie quarterback.
Yeah, absolutely.
As a rookie quarterback. But that's the thing. I think part of it comes from being. I mean, look, we're always going to be New York's second football team.
Yeah,
and I really think until the first thing that has to happen is the Jets really do need their own stadium.
I agree with that. Absolutely.
I wouldn't even have a problem sharing a stadium with the Mets again.
No. I mean, I'm a Yankees fan, but I'd have no problem with that. That's how
not sharing it with the Giants, because it'll always be the Giants' house.
Now, when I was younger, I lived 20 minutes in New Jersey away from the Meadowlands. If you don't hit traffic and you just head there 20-25 minutes, I'm at Giant Stadium.
Just down the road.
And at that time, when they were talking about possibly getting new stadiums in Manhattan, I think they had a plan, or maybe going out to Long Island, I was against it because it was like, oh, that's so simple for me. Now that I'm on the shoreline of Connecticut, it's like, no, you know what? F it. I mean, whether I have to go to East Rutherford or whether I
you're driving either way.
At this point. Exactly. You know what? I think they should build a nice stadium out on Long Island.
Well, and absolutely. And I mean, you could 100% sustain it. It's not a problem. By the way, I meant to talk to you. I was going to DM you. I am going to be in Hartford the 13th through the 20th. So if you want to catch up for a beer, let me know. We can make something happen.
Of February?
Yes.
Okay. Let me get back.
We'll talk off mic, but I just wanted to say something before I forgot.
Yeah. I will definitely see if I can work that out. Because cool. I work more normal hours. Everything is, working my way. So, I might be able to pull that off. Hartford is about, it's like, I'd say 30, 40 minutes away.
Well, we're going to go, my buddy and I are going to go to a Bridgeport Wolfpack game. I want to say that Friday night of that week. I don't know if that's closer for you or not, but yeah, like this is my first vacation, like, as an adult. So, like,
and you chose to go to Hartford?
Well, okay. All right. Story time. Fuck it.
Yeah.
Sorry, viewers. You're stuck listening to this. All right. So, in 2010, my wife, who was then my fiance, who had 3 daughters, and I moved in together. And I picked up, like, extra jobs, and I had to make about $400 a month on eBay to cover the cost of the car that we got for her and the girls. Well, I sold a Rangers jersey to a guy who bought a Rangers jersey for his mom. And I just messaged him and said, hey, listen, dude, I'm the only Rangers fan in Denver. I'm very lonely. Please be my friend. Okay. It wasn't that pathetic. But I said, hey, so here's my Twitter handle. So we started talking. We traded phone numbers. We started texting. And so eventually my daughters call him Uncle Orlando. Like, he's part of the family now. We do Christmas presents. He's come out here Like he came out here, I took him to a Rangers Avalanche game. Like we did a whole thing.
Oh, okay.
Finally, it's time for me to fucking put my money where my mouth is and go out there. Well, he lives in Hartford. His mom lives in Manhattan, and he grew up in Manhattan. So I'm flying out to Hartford. I'm staying there. We're going to the Rangers Habs game on the 15th of February. We're going to the Wolfpack game that Friday. That Saturday, we're going to a punk concert in shit if I know where, but it's
no, man, me and you have too much in common.
Oh, dude, I'm an old school punk rocker, dude. I'm still an Iggy and the Stooges fan. And
that's even old. No, that's older than me, because I mean, I'd say
it's older than me, but my I had buddies who had older brothers.
Yeah, I mean, when I was growing up, I love the Misfits and all incarnations of the Misfits, except for maybe, I mean, I still even like the Jerry only Misfits, but it's clearly the worst. But the Casualties and the Exploited.
Well, then you probably actually know we're going to the Saturday night show where the Pissed are having a reunion concert.
Oh, okay. And that's in Hartford?
I think it's a little north of Hartford. I can't remember exactly. And then we're going to the Stadium Series that Sunday. We're picking up his mom and our other buddy. So like it's a whole Ranger-a-thon. Like it's like Rangers Palooza. I know you're a Devils fan. Don't break up with me.
I am.
But so anyways, but we're gonna be out there, so I'd love to catch up and at least have a beer.
Yeah, we could try. I wish you're coming out like a month or two later, because I could bring you to a Hartford Yard Goats game and bring you down and to meet all the, because I have media clearance for the team. I could bring you down. A lot of the guys actually who were on the team last year were on the Rockies, and one guy, Brenton Doyle, was nominated for was the Rockies nominee for Golden Glove.
Well, I'm not opposed to coming out again. Like I love going to the East Coast. I wouldn't mind like a summer weekend. It is. Yeah, well, yeah, but the thing is, just flying out for a weekend, it's not that big a deal.
Yeah. We can always work that out, because I do cover the Hartford Yard Goats for anyone interested. Obviously, when this isn't there, you can see under my name it says Host Midnight Mike Show Goat Gazette. But anyway, let me ask you
wants to get a Yard Goats hat now just on principle.
Oh man, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is one of my favorite ones. Remember last year when they did for all the major league teams, they did the U.S. flag hats with the gold trim. Mm-hmm. There was a few minor league teams that were able to get those hats made, and the Hartford Yard Goats were able to get them made.
Ooh, that's sassy. I like it.
And then obviously,
very nice. I got a soft spot in my heart for Hartford, period, just in general. I mean, when I was a kid, every once in a while, we'd sneak up to Hartford and catch a Whalers game because it was so much cheaper than going to a Rangers game. Like, so much.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, go to the mall, have a good time. So, I mean, I have a Wolfpack hat.
What's crazy is I literally, I grew up, obviously, a Devils fan.
Right.
But I always, even though they were in the same division, I always had a soft spot for the Hartford Whalers, because I love the underdog,
and their logo is fantastic.
Oh, one of the best ever in any sport.
I would argue the Milwaukee Brewers and Hartford Wolfpack, or I keep saying Wolfpack, I'm sorry, I mean Whalers. Those would be the best two logos in pro sports, in my opinion.
And the Yard Goats actually do an awesome Whalers. They do Whalers nights where players from the Whalers come to the stadium and sign autographs. Cool. And they wear what looks to be like hockey jerseys, but they're baseball jerseys, but they have like the screen printed ties here to look like a hockey jersey.
Cool.
And they have like waves on the bottom to represent the Whalers. And I think they have a whale over here. And their colors, the Hartford Yard Goats colors, are what they are because of the Hartford Whalers. Well, so the green and blue, and then anytime
and the little white.
Yeah, and anytime anyone hits a home run at their home Duncan Park, they
play the Bonanza. Please
they play the Whalers goal.
Yeah, the Bonsai Bonanza. That's awesome. Yep. All right, so I'm gonna go off on another tangent.
I'm actually wondering if we even have that on my thing.
My favorite player of all time. Hit it. Oh, it's great. I mean, it's fantastic. It's an iconic hockey song. It's kind of like, the Rock and Roll Part 2 for the Rocky Hockey from back in the day.
Although Gary Glitter,
I know, but
history.
You got to separate the art from the artist.
Yes, especially in that case.
Especially in that one. But so here's another fun story. So my favorite player of all time is Ulf Samuelsson,
Okay.
and started his career with the Whalers, and a girl who, like, I tell people is my sister because A, we're 5 days apart, B, we've never dated, so we could go to the bar and be like, this is my twin sister, is Wayne Gretzky's niece. And
So
so
you know Wayne Gretzky,
like
Wayne Gretzky's
yes,
niece.
like when me and Jessica go and like Wayne's doing a thing, like I promise you he wouldn't know who the fuck I was if Jessica wasn't there. But when, and if you can see right up that way is a Gretzky
Okay.
jersey.
I'm gonna have to look on a replay because I'm far enough away, and I'm
Okay.
starting to get old. I'm gonna need readers soon. I'm telling
Oh,
you.
dude, I have bifocals. I'm pathetic.
Yeah.
But anyways, so Wayne was the coach of the Arizona Coyotes,
Mhm.
and Ulf was his defenseman's coach. And so we go to see Wayne, and it's like me and my buddy and my sister and whatnot. And when she first told me Wayne Gretzky was her uncle, I was like, we were in freshman high school. I was like, bitch, please. Like, come on. Like, that's pretty fucking
Don't BS me.
outlandish. And she's like, well, here. She shows me like some signed like LA Kings jerseys. I'm like, dude, you buy these. You can buy these. Your mom's a hockey fan. She goes, all right, asshole. And then shows me pictures of her at his wedding to Janet Jones. Her aunt is Janet Jones. And I'm like, well, I guess I'll just shut the fuck up over here. So we've met Wayne a bunch of times. Like, it's really cool. Like when Wayne and I are with Jessica, he's like, oh, hey, Matt, how's it going? It's really cool.
That's cool.
So the last time they were in town when he was coaching the Coyotes, so God, 20 years ago. But I had met Ulf one time before, just outside a hotel. I was just getting him to sign my jersey, which, hold on, that's my dog.
Oh, nice.
And so sorry about that. So anyways, we're talking to Wayne and we're just saying hi and whatever. And I'm, it's cool. It's Wayne Gretzky, but I'm not trying to like annoy him. So he's like, listen, I got to go back in the locker room. I said, hey, Wayne, if you don't mind, if Ulf isn't busy, would you just ask him if he would come out and say hello real quick? And I'm wearing like a Team Sweden Ulf Samuelsson jersey. Mm-hmm. And I turn around and he goes, yeah, wait, he's right behind you. He's waiting to talk to you for like 5 minutes. And I was like, so I turn around and I turn to Ricky Bobby. I'm like, I don't know what to do with my hands. Like, and, and I was supposed to go to the team dinner the night before, but I got stuck working late and I was just over it. And he's like, hey, Matt, why weren't you at dinner last night? Everybody's hanging around. We were having a good time. And it was like the best day of my life.
That sounds awesome.
I will always have like love for the Hartford Whalers because my nickname playing hockey as a kid was Ulf, because I'm going to be honest with you, and I don't know how many people are watching, I was the dirtiest little shithead 8-year-old you've ever seen on the ice. Like,
were you an enforcer?
I wasn't an enforcer. I was just an instigator. Like, I knew, I was like, look, I'm not here to be your buddy. I'm going to piss you off, and you're going to try and kill me. Like, I was Paul Newman in Slapshot.
Okay.
So we win because I make him crazy. So,
there you go.
But that's why Hartford will, God, this is the longest, boringest story ever. Sorry, viewers.
Oh, man. It's okay.
It's why I love Hartford so much is I just loved, and what made me love Ulf Samuelsson as a kid was there was this time where a guy was going for an empty net goal, and Ulf tries to stop him. And he's getting leverage on him. Ulf throws a stick at him, misses. Throws his gloves at him, misses. He's getting his helmet off when the guy finally scores the empty net goal. And that was just how I played. I was like, I'll do anything to win. I'm, not a good role model for my children.
Well, let me. I want to ask you one more hockey. Well, first off, I know your favorite player. I'm a Devils fan. Who's my favorite player of all time?
Scott Stevens, 100%.
No, come on.
No.
As a matter of fact, there's two. There's two guys.
Give me an era.
No, same era.
Okay.
For both of them, there's two guys I actually like more.
Yes, Brodeur, because that's a kid.
There you go. I mean, how can Martin Brodeur, the best goalie ever to play the game, not be my favorite player?
Other favorite players is Sean Avery, so we might have to just break up now. But I would say your other favorite player, if it's not Scott Stevens, I would say Scott Niedermayer because he was amazing.
He was amazing.
He was a good player.
It was Ken Danico.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I like about Ken Danico? is Ken Danica went through a lot of shit with his alcoholism and all of the struggles he overcame.
Mhm.
Never hid from them, was always strong, and was always like, look, when I made mistakes, I made mistakes, and I've always respected him for that. And so, yeah, I have no beef with Ken Danica. Like, I
Yeah.
respect Ken Danica.
And I want to get back to football, folks. So if
Yeah,
you're
sorry,
watching this,
guys.
please, everybody,
We
hit the
just
like
geeked out.
button, subscribe if you haven't. Yeah, that's okay. It's going to happen. That's what this show is about, though, because once again, we're a little different than every other Jets show that I love to watch and I watch all week and listen to in my headsets when I'm at work. You know, I love listening to all those guys. But this show, I want to be a little different. We could go to talking some 80s trivia later. We could talk about hockey. We can talk about, you know, why we like Hartford and whatever. It's
well,
like,
I think that's what makes this show special and good. And it's on again, this show is in its embryo stages before it really does blow up. But there's more nuance to it because, yeah, we like football, but we also like to read. We like to watch movies. We like to
yep,
discuss cool shit.
yep.
Football is wonderful, but it's not the only thing.
Well,
And
and on this
that's so
channel,
cool.
though, on this channel, I do have the 5 to 10 minute, 6 minute, 7 minute, somewhere in there. I come at everybody, and it's all about the Jets, and it's usually me flipping out because the Jets did something fucking stupid, and
As they
I'll
are
come at
wont
you.
to do.
Yeah, but this show, this live long format, you know, I don't mind going and talking about other things. You know, it's interesting,
Oh, for
it's
sure.
fun. It opens up the world of the podcast or the YouTube channel or whatever. So please, folks, down below, hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't. This is the first show I went into the show with 1,000 subscribers, so I
And
am
do
very
like and
happy
subscribe
about that.
because understand this too, guys. Again, and I'm not trying to take over. I'm not co-hosting the show. I'm just an interviewee.
I mean, if essentially at this point, most weeks you are.
Well, I'm happy to do it. But
Yeah.
understand the cool thing about this show is you might get a weird book recommendation or something where you're like, I've never heard of that. And you check it out and you'd be like, holy shit, dude. I'm really glad I tuned in. And
Well,
I
like
think that's
earlier,
important.
we talked about World War II in color. Maybe people
Right.
haven't seen it. Check it out.
Like Dan Carlin's Hardcore History is an amazing podcast. All kinds of crazy history. Give it a look. You know, I'm not getting paid to promote that shit, but I'm just telling you I wouldn't give it to you if it weren't good.
Absolutely. Now, here's what I want to ask you. Last hockey question. They released all of the Stadium Series
Hate 'em.
jerseys. Did you really? See, okay, I can't decide if I like or dislike the Devils one.
Here's the thing. I really feel like the only one I can't really bitch about is the Flyers one because it's just a Flyers jersey.
Yeah, essentially, yeah.
The Devils one, it's okay. The Isles one, it's okay. The Rangers one, it's okay. Like, I'm hoping they look better in person because, like I said, I'm going to that game. But they didn't blow me away. I don't like the Rangers' third jersey this year either. I'm just kind of like,
What do you think of the Islanders sea captain jersey that they had back in like the 90s?
the Fish Sticks one.
Yeah, the Gordon's Fisherman.
You know, I'll deny I said this in court, so you have to delete this video after it's done. I actually kind of liked it because it was unique. Like,
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of unique. Show me something I haven't seen. Like, I always tell people when it comes to films, one of the reasons I love the film Get Out is hey Valerie, I had
I know,
no
she's here.
idea what the hell was going on in that movie. So if you throw me a curveball and I'm entertained, cool. So the Gordon Fisherman jersey, it's hideous, but it's different.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, here's my thing. I can remember that myself and my friend JM, I'll call him, if he's ever watching this, we were the only real, true hardcore Jets fans back in like elementary school, middle school. You know, once high school hit and the Jets, at least my high school, that's when you had Vinny and them, and all of a sudden more Jets jerseys started to pop up.
That was
But I
about
knew
4
who
years
the
out of high school.
yeah, I knew who the true Jets fans were. Okay.
Yeah, there was like 3 of us.
Very few. Yes.
Yeah.
But I had a friend, his name was Bill Hoyler, and he was the only, you were either Devils or Rangers, especially in the mid 90s when the Rangers won in 94, Devils won in
there
95.
were no Islanders fans back then.
No,
But let me tell you something. When I was a kid in Queens, walking to school at 5 years old wearing a Rangers cap, and the Islanders had just won 4 in a row, I was getting my ass kicked every day.
Well, Bill is the only Islander fan I knew, right? And I want to just I want to shout him out. He passed on like 10 years ago. And he wore that Gordon's fisherman jersey with so much fucking pride when it came out. Yeah, and you know what? Like, if I ever talk about the Islanders, or I ever talk about that jersey in particular, I got to bring up
the
Bill.
Guy.
Rest in peace. Yeah.
Well, and here's the thing, though. You know what? Like, I may hate your team, but I love a loyal fan.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
I love a loyal fan. And like, my buddy was friends with, I don't know if you remember Dennis Vasky, who played for the Islanders. But for like 3 years in a row, we used to just get free Islanders tickets because Dennis Vasky was like, "Here, Dan, take these tickets." So I would go to Islanders games and just have a good time. But yeah, no, you gotta love a loyal fan, and that's the thing. Like, you know, you see like shitty teams. It's like, God bless that diehard Arizona Coyotes fan.
Yeah, you know? Well, I don't even know if they actually truly exist. I mean, honestly, I have a friend. I actually have to ask him. I don't think he watches any sports. I have a friend who lives out in Arizona, and he never. I just don't think he's a sports fan. But I just don't. I never see Cardinals or Coyotes fans.
They're
just
out
like
there. They just don't.
Are they?
And here's how I can tell you I know, because I have seen videos of like the Booster Club, but also those teams haven't left.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
They've been there a while.
Like, you know, it's one of those, like, I know there is a really hardcore, like, and they still call themselves the Phoenix Coyote fans, that are like, I mean, there was one lady making an impassioned speech to the governor about keeping the team. They're out there, and I respect them. They may be fighting a losing battle, but now all of a sudden, apparently Salt Lake City put in a bid for an NHL team.
I mean, it also confuses me when you have an NHL team down there deep in the South. You know, when I think hockey, of course, I'm thinking the Northeast, you know, the Boston College.
Yeah, but we're old school, so we think like Mason-Dixon line, like it's just.
Yeah, below that, there should not be any hockey teams.
Yeah, so but that's just us being old boomers, you know. But at the same time, like, I mean, I sit around and still bitch that as much as I hated them, why does Seattle not have the Supersonics?
Oh, I don't get that. I don't understand how they ever.
Are you kidding me? Like,
Seattle has a very loyal fan base, and I think that
even community.
Yeah, and I think that showed even more with the Kraken, which, by the way, those jerseys and that is pretty cool.
I hate them. I can't stand them.
Oh, really?
I think they look so dumb.
They're cool as shit. No,
I wanted like an actual Kraken design, not an S. But they are.
Oh, see, but I like that. I like the city, like I said, with the Hartford Yard Goats. It's like you have all the goat logo with the goat. That's their like primary logo, and then they have one where like the Yankee hat is kind of sticking through the horn. Not the Yankee, the Uncle Sam hat. But then they have the one with the H that I showed you, and they have that in a regular green hat, white H. Those are my favorite. Just the city represented by the like initial. I love that stuff.
No, it's cool.
But yeah, okay. We got to get off of hockey.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, this is a Jet show. What the hell are we doing?
Like and subscribe below, folks. What is that? Zorro Gaming says Rodgers is going to do no better than Zach with this O-line. Like, look, I don't even know how to answer
but
that.
We have an offseason to fix the O-line.
Exactly. I don't fully understand what the point of that was. And Zorro, I do appreciate like down below, whatever. But you really think we're going into next year with that exact O-line? There's no chance. Joe Douglas will be fired game one.
I 100%, if they don't improve the O-line in the offseason, Joe Douglas won't be the GM at the start of the season.
Yeah. Absolutely.
We won't even get there. It'll be as simple as, you didn't do anything to fix this, you got to go.
Absolutely. And I honestly believe that Joe Douglas, like, I think before even the draft, he's going to have guys in for the O-line, whether they're free agents or whatever. Yeah, he's got to. This is do or die. So if you think that Rodgers and Saleh and Joe Douglas are going into this season with that offensive line, I mean, look, Tippmann and AVT, that's it. That's all they need. And then the rest you need to change that. And then anyone you keep is going to be depth. That's it.
So because I did put with special guest, this is my daughter. This is Sasha.
Hi.
Sasha Jets.
Hi, Sasha. How you doing?
You can talk on the mic big time.
Hi.
How you
And
doing?
this one
What jersey does she have on?
she is wearing a Steve Atwater Jets jersey that I
Wow.
bought in college 400 years ago.
Wow.
And this one has been to the last 2 Jets games here in Denver with me. She's a loyal Jets fan.
Awesome.
She's not ridiculous about she can't hear you. I just realized my headphones are on.
Oh.
But he's giving you lots of props. So
Absolutely,
but
yep.
I was thinking if you wanted to ask her what it's like being a young Jets fan, if you have any questions for her,
well, first off, what I want to say is that if my daughters don't get they this year they both had their Rodgers t-shirts, and I'm getting them into the team. My youngest, who's turning 4 next month, seems more into it than my older daughter, who's 7. She'll be 8 in the summer. But if they don't fall in line, we're gonna have to have Sasha come on and basically tell my daughters how awesome it is, even though the Jets may not be the best team right now, how awesome it is to be a loyal Jets fan.
Oh, absolutely.
That is very important.
Can you still hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. I unplugged my headphones so she could hear us.
Okay. So. Yeah, not a problem. And let me tell you something, Sasha.
Yes.
Loyalty to a team that's as usually bad as the Jets shows and builds so much character. It makes you a better person overall if you can be loyal to things like teams, friends, family, things like that. Loyalty is a good character trait, and it's awesome that you and your dad can enjoy the New York Jets together.
Well, this little lady is on my shoulders at the Jets game.
Awesome. Does she do the Fireman Ed?
Chant. Yeah, she leads the chant.
And everybody
absolutely, that's awesome.
Yeah, so
what'd you say?
Everybody goes along. Like
yep.
I'll on Twitter, I'll send you some videos because I have them.
Oh, awesome.
And, another podcast I listen to, YouTube show is I don't know if you watched The Goddamn Jets.
I don't. Wow, I could sit here and name probably 10 Jets content creators that I watch, and I don't think I've seen that one.
They're another small one, but so we got her. I told her, all right, you're allowed to cuss this time, and we did this scene from Big Daddy where who do you want to win, etc. So,
oh Jesus, get that off the screen for now.
Jesus, Valerie,
we have kids on now. She wrote that a while ago. I just got back to the comments, so it's not like she saw your daughter on the show. It was like, what, I need to talk about this.
It.
Yeah,
I get it, but no. So the cool thing about it is, I love the fact that she realizes that the Jets do suck.
Yep.
But
for now,
what did she do? Like, she literally was like, "Dad, can I put my jersey on and come say hi on your show tonight?"
Absolutely, anytime.
Like, not my show, but yeah. So she is absolutely being raised right. She's a big Jets fan, and she told her friend, like, she's like, "Don't worry," because her friend came over on Sunday mornings. She's like, "My dad's not mad at us. He's just yelling at the television." Because I'm up here just going nuts.
We usually, like, how the Jets had a lot of primetime games this year.
Yeah, we got to stop that.
Yeah, I agree. I like the 1:00 games, but
Denver is the best place for that because, like, you get up at like me, I wake up super early, but the game starts at 11.
Oh, that's early.
So it's like, cool. I can have a Bloody Mary. I watch the game. I watch the afternoon game, the night game. I'm in bed in time for normal hours out here. This is the best place to be a sports fan.
Well, they had so many primetime games that my daughters would be going to sleep probably within the first quarter. They'd be already up in bed asleep. And my wife would then come down and I'd be watching the game and I'm yelling, sometimes maybe words I shouldn't be saying. And my wife's always like, "Do you realize the kids are sleeping?
Your children are trying to sleep." Yeah.
But the funny thing is that they never woke up. So it just goes to show that I can yell that loud and they'll sleep right through it.
There is a great YouTube channel. It's called the New York Jokes.
I've seen that.
They are so good. And it is literally like my uncle and my dad just like it. I feel like I'm like 8 years old again watching them watch the games as a kid. because they're just cussing up and pissed off, and it's great. Like honestly, if I had to miss a Jets game, I would go to them for highlights.
Yeah, I mean, well, God, have you ever tried to? Obviously, I watch the Jets games, but have you ever tried on YouTube to watch like a highlight of any game? There's like it's like 10 minutes, and there's like 15 ad breaks.
I'm not gonna lie, dude. I paid for premium.
Oh, okay, there you go.
I gave in because I can get YouTube at work. I work in a prison.
Okay.
And there's a lot of downtime, and I'm like, fuck it, I'm not gonna sit through commercials.
Yeah, well, I actually have an NFL Plus on my phone. I could probably have highlights.
Right. Yeah. Tell me how it is. Actually, I'm kind of curious.
It's weird. You can only get it on your phone. You can't then share your phone with the TV. And they do locally, like if the Jets aren't on, if the Patriots are on at the same time, and the Patriots are on like CBS, I can't even watch the Jets on NFL Plus.
That is so weird.
It is so weird. I don't get it. I don't understand it. It's like I've said it before. Every sport needs to get packages where you can just watch your team no matter where you are.
100% buy the Jets package every year without fail. The AHL of all things actually does that, where you can buy your team home, your team road, both, your team in playoffs. Like, it's so accessible.
Best package I've ever found is the MILB package for like, because I watch the Yard Goats. Like, I don't just go to games, I watch them on my phone.
But
the MILB package, it's literally $30. I believe it's $30. I may have gotten a discount. At the most, it's $40 for the entire season. And you get any game from AAA, AA, single A, high A, whatever, of any team in the country.
I may have to look into that.
It's unbelievable. And like I said, I think I got a promo where it was $30 for the whole year, and I can watch every Hartford Yard Goat game home and away.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. And I can watch.
I do League Pass because I'm a basketball guy, and I do the MLS Pass on Apple TV.
Oh wow, MLS. Geez, I haven't watched MLS since I lived in Philly. I was a Union fan.
I'm not gonna lie, I really have a good time just watching, American football. Again, I'm a Liverpool guy. It's not nearly the quality of the Premiership.
Do you know what my team is? My actual team?
I really don't want you to say, because you're gonna say Manchester United.
Nope. No. Not even in they're not even in the Premier League.
Who you got?
Millwall.
Really?
Yep, the Lions. Come on, you Lions.
You are the first. Wow.
Yep.
Good for you.
Well, you know what it is? When I did my other show for 10 years, everyone knew I was a Jets fan. And we had some fans, all over the world. And I had some fans in England. And one of them got in touch with me and was tweeting with me or writing me on Facebook. I don't remember, because this was like 10 years ago.
Right.
And he said, so you really like underdog teams? I said, yep, I really do. And it's really hard. He goes, you should look into my team, Millwall. And I said, okay, well, let me look. And they have a song like, the stupid Jet song that I always play at the beginning.
Yeah, I love it.
They have one just like that. And they are always the underdogs. Right now, they're in the second tier. But like when I started watching them, they were in the championship, which
is below the Premier.
Yeah, they were in that. Then they got relegated down to, I forget. I think they changed it. Like there was like League One and League Two. Well, either way, they got relegated. And then after a couple years, they got promoted again up to championship. And now they're in championship. And I remember watching that game, that playoff game for them to get promoted. And I was just full on into it. So yes, I am a Millwall Lions fan. If I was to pick
I will just adopt them as another team to watch, just because like Liverpool's never going to get relegated. And the reason I'm a Liverpool fan is I just have like a whole family of friends that live in Liverpool. Like that's the only reason I have a Facebook, is so I can just talk to them on Messenger.
Mets, I will get to you in a second.
I see him in the green room.
Yeah, he was here a little while ago, and we were just talking and whatnot. I will get to him. If you are watching, please like down below, hit the like button so more people will see this, and hit the subscribe button if you haven't. Get me over the 1,000. That's the key. Over the 1,000 subscribers.
Get the subs, baby.
Yeah.
You're enjoying the content. You got nothing to lose.
I actually blew it this week and didn't put out a Thursday video, which I usually do. But
your channel's not annoying with a bunch of spammy ass 3-minute videos where it's like a guy on the Jets offensive line farted this week. Let's talk about it. You know, like this channel, and again, this is coming from a fan. I'm not paid to promote this channel. I just happen to be here because I was in the green room. But I'm telling you, if Mike puts out a video, it's probably 5 minutes in the middle of the week, and it's talking about something actually happened. The only reminders you're going to get is, hey, there's a live show on Saturday. If you like the show, give it some love. You got nothing to lose. It doesn't cost you anything. And the fact of the matter is like I said, this is not your average dumb meathead football show. We're talking about football, but then we talked about some hockey. We talked about some history. We talked about a lot of things.
We got to get to some 80s trivia later.
And and by the way, can we do some 90s trivia? Because I really shit the bed on the 80s trivia, although.
Okay, I got 80s this week.
Okay, yeah.
Next week we'll start the training on 90s.
I really have a good
that's an Ocho weakness
for Ocho, because I'm trying to be like really nice because he is the champ, but he's talking a lot of shit.
Oh, that's Ocho.
And that mask, I'm like, dude, I get it, but
he's been that character for years.
Oh, I love it, but I'm just gonna start calling him Gay Mysterio.
Oh, that's good. I like that. That works.
Week. I was really excited to bust that one out.
That's good. I
respect him, though. I have to say, he knows his shit. I mean, that thing with Godzilla that I posted on Twitter, that's pure respect. The dude knows his stuff. I hate Billy Joel. So that's why I didn't know that one, which is hilarious because my wife literally went to a Billy Joel concert in Phoenix overnight, not too long ago.
You want to hear something weird? I talked about this. I don't know when I talked about this, if it was on a show or whatever, but my wife hates Billy Joel. And I don't understand it. And it's not like I don't understand a person being indifferent to Billy Joel, being like, oh yeah, he has, songs, but I would never, put on Billy Joel. I get that. But to hate Billy Joel, his music is just, it's not trying to do anything. It's simple, it's catchy.
Don't like Billy Joel,
man.
But my wife and I also have the most distinct, different music tastes.
And we're now getting divorced.
I hope you heard that.
I did.
Just popped in. Thanks for ruining my spotlight.
I love Billy Joel though, and it's like I don't understand how someone could say they hate him.
Let me preempt this. There are certain Billy Joel songs I like, but there are certain Billy Joel songs I just hate. You know what I mean? Which is a rarity because, like, my wife.
There's that for me. There's that with a lot of people because when you turn on a radio and the same songs from the same artists, it's like I just get sick and tired of it. But again, and I understand there's some Billy Joel songs like that. Obviously, I mean, how many times are they going to play Piano Man on the radio? It's constant.
I guess it's not fair for me to say I hate Billy Joel. I just don't appreciate him the way my wife does. My wife and I both have very different tastes in music. Like, she loves Green Day.
I love Green Day too. Well, I love Green Day up until when Kerplunk came out. I was literally on board, like loved them. Then they got huge, and I actually saw them at Woodstock '94. And I loved them up until they got super political and did the American
Idiot got really annoying.
I actually liked the album. But the political BS that goes along with it, I didn't. But some of their best, well-crafted songs are on that album. But after that, they did 21st Century Breakdown or whatever. But after that, I was out. So anything that came after 21st Century Breakdown, I'm out. But I would, if I'm going to listen to Green Day, man, 1039 and Kerplunk and Dookie, man, those are awesome albums.
See, I hate Green Day with everything I am.
Oh, no, that's unacceptable.
I'm sorry.
But Sasha left us, but before, I just want to give her. I want to give her this.
Oh, hold on.
It's gonna be. I just gave you the Jets chant.
Oh yeah,
I gave you the Jets chant.
She, believe me, I have videos on my Twitter account, and I'll shoot them your way. But she straight up just sits on my shoulders and leads the chant.
Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna bring Mets in. Mets, are you there?
Hey boy, what's up, buddy?
Hold on, wait. Let me bring him in. And then we're gonna look at these uniform concepts.
Whoa, you're not on the couch. I don't like this.
What?
Yeah,
it's too different.
Yeah, we're now used to seeing you laying down and relaxing on the couch.
You look like you're in an episode of Dr. Katz.
This is where I normally do most of my videos.
Love the hat, by the way. I don't know if you were here when I talked about it, but the Knicks are good. Like, they're not a flash in the pan. They're playing good ball.
Yeah, too bad Julius has got a dislocated shoulder now.
Yeah, but it's a minor one. He can be back before the season's even in the playoffs.
Yeah, but still,
I'm
once
trying
you
to see
pop
what
that
this-
shoulder back in the location, you're still going to need some time to get it recovered properly, don't you?
Have you never seen Lethal Weapon? He just
No.
pops it in and goes. He'll be fine. Hollywood movies don't lie. Yeah, I'm fucking with you.
Okay, as far as the Jets go, I'm just going to be blunt. They still need that O-line reorganized. They need a new tackle. And someone's got to get someone who's more offensively oriented than he is.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
No argument there.
But the problem is that they're keeping Hackett. Like Rodgers will help with his football knowledge, his football IQ. He's gonna help. But why couldn't they just get rid of Hackett, get somebody in to work with Rodgers who will give 50%? Rodgers gives 50%. Hackett can give 0%. We've seen that.
I mean,
0.
Hackett lives up to the first half of his name. He's a GD effing hack.
Absolutely. No argument coming from here either.
Here's what I'm gonna say. We haven't seen Hackett and Rodgers work together in any capacity.
Because of Dwayne Brown.
So I'm gonna say I'm not angry about this, but I'm also saying that the guy's living on borrowed time for this season. Go out there.
Most of the coaches are.
Ball out, and I'll be happy, but we have to understand that if Hackett's not doing the job, he's got to go, not at the end of next season.
Now, I have a quick question. Lisa's here in the chat. Hello, Lisa. Awesome to see you. You wrote, "I can't believe Royal Rumble is on. It takes me back." What is the first off?
Wrestling.
I am an old school. No, I know I'm an old school wrestling fan. I actually used to do some pro wrestling. But my question is the Royal Rumble would not be on now, wouldn't it? Isn't it always a Sunday night pay-per-view thing? I haven't watched wrestling in about a decade.
Saturdays beginning in 2021, 22.
So the Royal Rumble is on right now.
Yes.
Oh boy,
Okay,
going up against the Royal Rumble.
I'm gonna go to the bathroom and get a drink. I'll be right back.
I wasn't going to talk about wrestling, but either way, okay, the Royal Rumble's on. That's awesome. We got more people in the chat. Remember, so more people. All you have to do, free. Super chats, great. Memberships, great. I appreciate all that. But free, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. More people will see this show. Let's see. Joe the Jet says, "I think the Beatles are a little overrated. They're not bad, just overrated." I'm a big Beatles fan. I've always said, and we'll get back to football, I have some stuff I want to show everybody. These mock-ups of these legacy uniforms I want to talk about with Maddie and Matt here. But I will say this, if you want me to be controversial and talk about people I think are overrated, U2, Prince, not overrated. Just Prince is so freaking talented, and I will never take that away from him. But his music, there's a few songs I like, but overall, I can change a Prince song. Same with U2, same with the Rolling Stones. So there you go. Everyone can attack me in the comments for that.
I think Michael Jackson is overrated.
See, I also liked Michael Jackson. I was a big fan growing up, in the 80s and whatnot. Okay, we have Maddie the Sasha back. What's up, Sasha? How you doing? Meet Mets. What is it? Mets what?
2128.
Mets 2128. How you doing, Sasha?
Good.
Good. What do you think? Do you know who the Beatles are?
No.
No. Do you know who the Rolling Stones are?
No.
These are all really old bands, actually older than us. These are bands that were. I don't think she knows who the Monkees are. She doesn't know the Beatles and the Rolling Stones. Who's your favorite artist, Sasha?
My favorite artist?
Yeah, like your favorite group or singer.
I have no idea.
What about your favorite New York Jet?
I still have no idea. I like them.
No idea. Huh? What do you? Yeah. Do you think Aaron Rodgers will do well next year?
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope so. Because it was rough this year not having all those quarterbacks. So what I want to do real quick is I do have. Oh wait, let me just get one more comment in here. I think Hackett won't argue with him. I think Hackett won't argue with him on calls. No, Nathaniel Hackett is going to literally be standing there. Hackett is literally going to be standing on the sidelines. It could be just you could put a mannequin out there next season as long as Rodgers is QB and is not hurt. You could put a mannequin there dressed like Nathaniel Hackett, and it will have the same effect. Rodgers is going to be making all the calls. That's it. All right, guys. Here's what I want to do. Real quick, you know what? We talked about comeback player of the year earlier. I do think BREECE got robbed, but let me add, here's your MVP candidates: Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Christian McCaffrey, Dak Prescott, Brock Purdy. Who's winning first?
CMC.
You think Christian?
Lamar.
Maddie?
Lamar.
49ers second, and I live in the Carolinas.
Okay.
So keep pounding.
Here's what I'm going to say. I think that Lamar Jackson and Christian McCaffrey, maybe Brock Purdy, are the only three who should win. I don't understand why. I mean, Josh Allen, he throws for a lot of touchdowns. He throws for a lot of interceptions. He makes a lot of dumb bonehead plays that other guys like Lamar Jackson is not making this season. Christian McCaffrey, the only non-quarterback on the list, but he is a beast. So I completely get it. I think Lamar is going to win. If Lamar doesn't win, I would go with McCaffrey.
That's I would agree with that. I just feel like Lamar has had. I mean, shit, they didn't even know if he was going to be on the Ravens next year. It was a whole thing.
Especially with the slew of injuries he's taken for the last 2 years.
He's my pick. I mean, I could be wrong. It would not be, a strange thing for that to happen. But I would go with Lamar. I just think that he's had an amazing season.
But answer me this question, guys. How much do you think the script writers in the NFL have been bribed to ensure that the Chiefs go to the Super Bowl tomorrow?
Okay, you know what? Before we go anywhere, I'm going to get political again. And we need to stop the unlawful occupation of Taylor Swift in the NFL. So from Baltimore to KC, the NFL needs to be free.
Well, I completely agree with that. Now maybe after this, did you guys see that Twitter leak of those AI pictures of her?
I heard about it. I didn't see them. If anybody has
they were nasty,
but
they were nasty. And
no,
I'm thinking,
cool. I genuinely
I agree. I agree.
As nasty as certain news that we heard earlier this afternoon.
Of what?
Of a certain someone finally stepping down because of certain allegations being validated.
Are we talking about the two players, or are we talking about Vince McMahon?
Vince.
Oh yeah, but you know what? Here's the thing though. No, here's the thing. I read the text messages, and yeah, Vince is a dirty old man. We've known that for 30 years. But in no point in that conversation, even when in the few times I think a lot of her messages have not been written back or were edited out, but even in the ones where she wrote back, it sounded like it was a consensual thing. It did not sound like it sounded like Vince is a dirty old man who's into bondage and into watching people and who may be a little bisexual. None of that surprises me. Once again, this may be true. I don't know. I'm going to wait to see how it plays out because we know Vince is skeezy. And what he was writing was skeezy, but in no way, like if she was doing this stuff, that's a consensual thing. What was it?
I want to weigh in on this.
Go ahead.
And I don't really know a whole lot about this except for the girl. Was she one of his secretary? I don't know what she was. Could you help me with that?
She was a secretary from 2019 to 2022.
Okay. All I say is this. For as long as there has been entertainment, there has been the casting couch. And
yes,
this may be an unpopular view, but there have been plenty of people, men and women, who are willing to do whatever it takes on that couch to get their shot. I'm not saying that I'm for or opposed to it, but the fact of the matter is there's a big difference between agreeing to something in exchange for quid pro quo versus being assaulted.
Correct.
And I think that as much as the world may find this uncomfortable, it's something that does need to be addressed, which is like, in the 80s especially, like, I guarantee you there's somebody's like, oh yeah, I was in Mannequin 3. I was the quirky friend who liked to drink coffee. And my scenes were cut, but whatever. But like, look, if you gave up whatever you gave up willingly, while amoral and not cool, you cannot say that things went in a way that were violently illegal. Do you know what I'm saying?
Correct. Here's what I'm going to say.
So with Vince McMahon, I'm just saying there are always going to be people who see somebody with money and know they have a tradable good. And then when things don't go their way, let me flip the script. I'm not saying she did that. I don't know the ins and outs. All I'm saying is it's a factor that really needs to be considered in a society like the one we live in.
My whole thing, and I think this is important for everyone to know in any situation, is we have to stop vilifying people before evidence, proof, and everything is gone through the court system. I'm not going to vilify Vince and say he was assaulting anyone. I'm not going to vilify her and say she's in this to get money.
No, I'm not taking a side at all.
Yeah, all I'm going to say is let's see how it plays out, and let's see.
Investigated. I will 100% go with that. But look at Kevin Spacey. How many times has this guy got to get acquitted before? Like, I mean, he lost everything.
Yes, he did.
And I don't know if he did it or not, but the courts have been like, we have no evidence of anything wrong.
It's the same thing with a friend of mine in the voice acting industry who got canned a few years ago over BS allegations that were used to aid and abet in cover-ups.
Yeah, I am completely. I don't like that as a society we have taken the stance where it's like as soon as someone makes an allegation, it's that fact. The person, it's fact, and that person's a piece of garbage because too many times it's proven the other way, and those people can't get their lives, their jobs, their reputation back.
Innocent until proven guilty.
The Johnny Depp case being a case in point.
Yep,
and absolutely. I've maintained this for 100 years. I like when it comes, especially to cases where there's accusations of sexual assault or abuse, both the accuser and the accusee should not be exposed because it is unfair to try things in the media.
Yeah.
And, people always scream, believe all women. I have no problem with investigate all accusations. I have no problem with that. But if you're going to scream, believe all women, well, Emmett Till would like to have a word about this conversation.
That's no different. It's basically a case. I mean, the whole believe all women thing is what got my friend basically at me blacklisted from the voice acting and convention community for the past 6 years. And it's been really infuriating to where I've had to go on the front line, call those who threw him under the bus out, though I've stopped.
I think my brother's watching, by the way. So if he is, Ned, you're totally gay.
What's up, Ned? All right, guys, this is what I want to do. I want to go through these uniforms, these mock-ups. This is what people are. This is what and I'm going to give credit. It's Jake Buff 22. He did these mock-ups of these uniforms for next year. There's two that I love, one I do not. And I'm going to bring them up on screen right now.
This is the one. Let's do this. I'm excited.
And remember, folks, hit the like button. It's free. Hit the subscribe button. Get me over the 1,000. Move me closer to the next milestone, whatever it is. If you hit that like button, more people see that I am live, and it helps me out a lot without you having to pay a dime. I also do have super chats and
memberships. We'll get uniforms if you want to come check them out.
All right, here we go. So This is the first one, and this is the one we're all familiar with. So this should be easy to talk about.
Money.
It is, except look above Rogers' name.
I can take or leave that. It's not so egregious that it's a thing.
I don't have a problem with it.
It's not bad. I mean, okay, fine. If it weren't there, I wouldn't care either way. It's not a deal breaker for me. The logo's important. Come here, you. What do you think about that?
It's fine. Just wish they would also go with the retro greens.
Well, we got more.
Wait a second.
Give me a minute. And once again, this is Jake Buff 22 on Twitter who put these out, and I believe he, kind of mocked them up. But this is what would be the New York Jets away uniforms next season. And we've talked about it before. I love it. I love it. This is an A. It's simple. It's easy. I can do the Jets logo there, or I could do it under the NFL logo on the front. Either one would be fine with me. But those, in my opinion, are awesome. That was the away day.
I'm in. I mean, those are essentially the uniforms we bought for the legacy for this year, with the exception of the small logo. I'm fine
So
with
now,
them. I'm wearing one now.
Absolutely. This one is the one that would be the home jersey. Are you ready? Here we go.
Yeah, fine.
Beautiful.
This is what I grew up with in the 80s.
Garrett Wilson with his new number 5 he's going to be wearing next year.
So glad I have a 17 jersey I bought last year. Fuck.
Well, did you hear what he said about that?
No.
He was talking to somebody, asked him, you're wearing 17 and all these people are buying your jerseys. Now you're going to change it and make people wear, buy a whole nother jersey. And he said, no, you know what? When I see someone wearing the 17 jersey, I'll know they were OG fans. They were there since the beginning.
That's fair. Honestly, I don't care. I mean, I like Garrett Wilson, so it's just one of those.
Did you see the picture of Thomas Morstead handing over the number 5 to Garrett Wilson?
I kind of liked it. It's cool.
Me too.
Yeah, I'm not really mad about it. Like I say, it's fine because they're not even wearing those jerseys next year anyway.
All right. Now, for some reason, they decided to put out another jersey.
Are these official or are these just...
No, these are a mock-up of the legacy jerseys of what they would be. And he put out the away,
home and road,
the home. And now this is where I get pissed off.
Nope.
I am not for a black jersey. And not only that, he didn't
so much I want to throw up.
Yeah, well, not only that, but it's so dark. At least, first off, no black jerseys. We've talked about this on the show before. I don't know anyone. I don't know, actually, Metz, I don't know his opinion yet, and we will get to that. But I know me and Maddie are completely against an alternate third jersey. It's unnecessary. It's unneeded. But God forbid they were going to pull this off or do this. You need at least a little white trim around all the numbers, the letters, and the Jets on the helmet.
The problem I have with the all-black jersey is they tried this shit in 1997 in the NHL where every team got a starter black jersey. They didn't wear them, but the black jersey is the most unimaginative alternate jersey you can have. Black, great, whatever. Show me something. You look at the Rangers. I know you're a Devils fan. But when they debuted their original third jersey with the Lady Liberty, it was cool because it was different. It was, you know what I mean? There's no imagination to this. It's just, fuck it, paint it black. I'm a Rolling Stones fan to a point, but Jesus, come on now.
I mean,
look. I'm not going to go ahead, Maddie.
I'm going to be blunt. I hate the color splash gimmick for all the teams. If you've seen the Panthers color splash jersey, it at least fits the aesthetic, so I don't have an issue with it. This Jet jersey, on the other hand, just looks freaking ugly. And the Giant jersey, it's essentially just a throwback to the 80s uniforms, both of them, and they've lost the majority.
I love those.
Usually when a New York team is in color splash,
I'm not a Giants fan, and I even like the 80s throwback for the Giants.
Yeah, I'm not a Giants hater at all. I actually will root for them if they're not playing the Jets. I have so many friends and family who are Giants fans, and I've gotten past the bitterness that I had in middle school and high school to the point where it's I want to see people I care about happy. So I would hope they would do the same for me if the Jets were there and the Giants were not. But those Giants jerseys that have the little red trim, the Lawrence Taylors, the Phil Simms, the Mark Bavaro, with the Giants, I love those Mets.
I'm just saying that those things always bring a lot of bad luck on the field. Almost every time the Giants have worn those damn things, they lose. Same principle applies with the Jets color splash.
Well, you mean the color rush? I mean, the Jets did great in the legacy uniforms this year. They beat the Bills, and they should have beat the Chiefs.
Aaron Rodgers did die in them.
True.
Speaking of which, there he is in the whites.
I'm all for it.
And There he
Cool.
would be in the home.
jersey, though. To me, it's the helmet logo. It's the hat you're wearing. Like, let's be real. Even when they switched, when Bill Parcells took over, they still news outlets still showed that logo.
The throwback
That logo
60s
has never
uniforms.
actually gone away. And to my point, I have a Joe Namath Pop Funko figure over there that was released this year, and it has that logo.
It has the swoosh.
Yeah.
Didn't they win with the? Didn't they win with the throwback? Didn't they win their Super Bowl with? Let me get some.
No.
Well, that confused me. Look, the Jets did great in those legacy uniforms. They should have beat the Chiefs if it weren't for the effing officials, and they beat the Bills. So right now, I would say we're 2-0 in those. Hold on, what are you saying, Mets?
With a logo that looked like this.
Yes, they did. Except actually, well, that's clearly the 98.
I thought that they were using this in the 60s too.
They did.
They were, but the Jet in the 60s. Do you see my Jet Super Bowl banner behind me?
Yes.
The logo is more football shaped as opposed to oval.
Oh.
So there was a difference. In the 60s, it was like a straight football, like how Kevin on the Wonder Years, it was a football. Then when they brought them back in 98, it was a very oval logo. It looks like a jelly bean.
But
yeah,
I've
one's
seen
actually
this logo.
I haven't gotten the new helmets tracker set. I mean, especially when they cost you $42 for the new sets.
He's not lying.
Okay, hold that up closer, Maddie.
Oh, sorry, but this logo, this is a Namath from before they even announced the legacy jerseys. This logo just keeps sticking with the Jets.
Yeah,
make it our thing. That's us.
Well, once again, we talked about this too. It wasn't our thing when we had those jerseys. We had what, two or three good seasons with those out of 15.
Our cheer is JETS.
Mm.
We need to embrace it. Just take it.
No, I agree, but
I know
they have JETS on. Look, I love my daughter. She went to the book fair and we put money in her account so she could go to the Scholastic Book Fair.
She get your poster.
And she got me.
I gotta go now, guys. I'll catch you later.
Thank you for coming, Mets. I appreciate it. Hopefully we'll see you next week.
Hopefully so.
Have a good one. All right, so she got me this. She did not have to get me anything. We put that money in her account, and she was thoughtful enough to get this, and I appreciate that. But honestly, probably my least favorite Jets helmet of all time.
No, but you better hang that fucking thing up.
Oh, I will. I absolutely will. This Super Bowl banner behind me was originally where I'm looking right now, and so I'm going to put that there
because from your baby. I mean, 100%.
Oh, absolutely. And the fact that she thought of me.
Other stuff from her things too. So she got me a Mets poster before, stuff like that. So
nice.
You did.
All right, so yeah. Final thoughts. I assume me and you completely agree. Black's got to go, but those other two uniforms look sharp. And I sure hope
they just ditch the black. There's no point to it. No. They're not going to sell them. I mean, let's be real.
See, that's the thing. When I was looking at this stuff, there were people talking about how much they liked the black jerseys for the Halloween game, the game closest to Halloween, and for what is I guess it's going to become a thing that we do the Black Friday game.
Until I see that in writing, I don't believe it. And I'll tell you why.
Me neither. I look, but honestly, I wouldn't even say, by the way, folks, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. More people will see it. So I appreciate you all being here. I'm going to get back to some comments in 1 second. And then we got to do some.
This kid will die.
Don't say that. So what I'm saying is if they bring out this jersey, God forbid, it better be only worn on Black Friday. Period.
If it's a one-off, I can tolerate it. Yeah. I'm not going to buy one. I say that, but who knows? But no, it's and you know what they need to do though is they need to do a white outline on the number.
I agree. On number,
something
name,
like that.
And on the helmet.
Our colors.
I'll bring it up again. Hold on. You've got to have the Jets logo on the helmet, have a little white trim so you can actually see it, and then the number and the name. If you're gonna do this abomination, it's got You've got to add
I
a
would
little
argue
white.
don't even change the helmet.
It's so dark.
Like, throw some white around the jersey numbers, but leave the helmet green. It's okay.
Oh, so you just want no matter what, even black
Like
jerseys,
that,
you want that.
that helmet. If you have to have the black jerseys, but we don't need a black helmet. Like, I don't like us changing our helmet no matter what. Like, we should have one helmet for the whole season. Go with it. It's fine.
I absolutely agree. We're going to be getting to soon. Anybody still watching, we're going to be getting to some of the 80s trivia. We've talked about BREECE getting robbed. So please, if you're joining us now, when this video or when this live stream ends, you could go back, you can watch, you can comment. I'll respond to your comments, even, not in the live comments. On the video, we talked about BREECE getting robbed of the comeback player of the year. We talked about MVP and who we think is going to get it. Oh, real quick, why don't we real quick do this? I talked about this on my show. You have to check it out on Spotify, on Google Play, on Apple Podcasts, whatever it is, all your major podcast platforms. Search the is important, The Undroppables, and it's right now still called Honest Jets Talk with Honest Abe and myself. We talked about this a little. I want to get your opinion. We have the 2 championship. What was it?
Was that first episode out?
It is out.
Okay.
Check it out. Yeah, like I said, on all major podcast platforms, you have to search The Undroppables, and it's great because it's a half hour. Boom, we give you our content, we get out of there, and it's good stuff. But Maddie, we got the San Francisco 49ers taking on the Detroit Lions. We have the Baltimore Ravens taking on the Kansas City Chiefs. What's your picks?
Oh, this is a tough. Well, okay, one is tough, one is not. I threw the headphones on because you're not going to care about this.
Okay.
Baltimore is going to slaughter Kansas City.
I think so too, but
I just think they're going to come out strong. I've seen too many things from Kansas City that I just think that they're not coachable fixes. You know what I mean? It's just a matter of I just think Baltimore. I think Baltimore is probably going to win this game 28-20, if not more. But
yeah, I think it could be more.
Spread.
But we can't discount what Metz was talking about earlier, that the refs do seem to always find a way to make Kansas
City. But
yeah, so
I just think that Baltimore is so strong that it really will not be a factor.
I think this comment from Valerie goes back to what we were talking to when I was saying to your daughter, Jets build strength through adversity. And I think that as fans, sorry I'm behind, guys. Tyreek Hill, I don't know if he's talking about him for MVP.
That guy's gay.
Love. Yeah. Oh, okay. Let's see what else he says. Matty Jets is a mo.
You're not supposed to tell anybody, man.
Oh, yeah, it looks like he busted out.
He's got very young kids. He's putting them to bed.
Okay, that's fair enough.
I understand that.
Yes, Lisa. Yes. No,
yes,
Black.
There we go. I like her. Him.
Is it a her? I thought it was a him.
Well, Lisa, when you say Lisa, I think lady, but
correct. Well, I do too, but I think
spelling could be a German male spelling.
Yeah, I think when I originally, because him and there was another guy that I mispronounced his name, and his name is actually pronounced Hyro. Because I pronounced it way wrong. I think I was like Jairo or something like that. I think I asked about this because I was confused, and I believe it's pronounced like Lisa.
If I did that wrong, please correct me. I didn't mean to.
Go Lions. Yeah, I'll tell you this. I'm rooting for the Detroit Lions. I hope they win the Super Bowl.
I am Clint Eastwood's brother in fucking Gran Torino, where I'm a Lions fan.
Yeah, so you're going Baltimore Ravens,
but I don't know that I'm picking the Lions.
That's what I'm. See, I picked, but I almost went safe because it just seems too insurmountable for the Lions to beat the 49ers. So I literally went on the show, on the podcast. I went Ravens 49ers. I mean, we're going with that Super Bowl logo thing again.
My thing is, so like what I said about, with KC, I don't think their mistakes are coachable fixes. Whereas San Fran barely won that game, but those are coachable fixes. Their coaches can say, look at the tape, this is what you did wrong, etc., etc. So I don't know, because Detroit, like, I would liken Detroit to the citizens of Stalingrad in the sense of, getting back to
Oh,
our
here we go.
they're going to fight tooth and nail, because I really believe that all the players on that Detroit team believe we're never going to be here again. Like,
I mean,
they
that's a
are,
real bummer. I hope they're not thinking that. I mean, that's a real bummer going into next
but
season.
if they're thinking it's now or it's never, and we're going to fight tooth and nail until we are dead, they could very well upset the 49ers.
Oh, absolutely. It
So
could happen. But I've said that the Lions are like, they're like a B- team across the board. Whereas like the Jets were an A defense and an F offense, and then
everything
like
else.
a B special teams. And that's a problem. The Lions are like a B- right across the board, and that's good enough to get you to where you're at. But is it good enough to get you over the hump into the Super Bowl?
But
And
that fanatical look, we are all Detroit has. We have, like, I'm telling you, there is that insane, it's that crazy gorilla strength that people have sometimes. I can't count them out. So I honestly, I just can't pick one on this one. If, like, gun to my head, I would say 49ers by 1 point.
I'm going to give them more than that. I mean, I didn't pick scores on the podcast.
That's just my
But
way of alliterating that. I'm just like, I am not. I refuse to count them out.
I would say over. I want to say over 3. They're going to win by over 3. Whether it's
I
2
really can't
field
wait to
goals.
talk about this next week.
What was it?
I said I just really can't wait to talk about it next week to see how it plays out. More than anything.
Yeah.
I don't have a dog in the fight, so I don't really. I mean, like, I want the Lions to win, but it's going to be really fun to talk about next week.
Now hold on 1 second. Lisa's talking about these jerseys. Tell me what you think. Could they sign it? Could they sign it on the on the green? But I'm gonna bust out for 1 second. But just tell me what you think. Can autographs get on that green?
Silver Sharpie. I think a silver Sharpie could do it, but at the same time, would you really, as a Jets fan, want to hang that jersey up? Like, would you frame this jersey? You would 100% take a white or a green one. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
or like did you mention the silver or the golds?
Yeah,
Silver or
you can
gold
sign it with a
Sharpies?
silver Sharpie, but again, if you're a Jets fan, like, this is not your jersey. You're
No.
gonna 100% be like, I'm gonna get a white one, I'm gonna get a green one. You know what I mean? Again, I just think this jersey's a bad idea all around. The fans don't want it. Like, just go with green and white. Like, but again, I come back to what I said last week and the week before. I want this team to be a lunch pail. We have 2 jerseys, home and road. We go to work, we win games. I don't want all gas, no brakes. I don't want 60%. I want to see results on the goddamn field. And I feel like alternate jerseys and shit like that are kind of an earned privilege for a team that has shown they have their shit together, and we have not shown that.
Okay, I think I got us back.
Oh, did you not hear any of that?
I busted out. We both busted out. I tried to put on some music to see if I could get me back. I got me back, but yeah, I busted out for about 30 seconds.
Oh, well, you didn't miss much. But my point is that the Jets just need home road. Like, what I want from the Jets is I want a lunch pail, go to work, win games team. I don't want alternate jerseys. Like, alternate jerseys are a luxury that teams who win a lot should have. Like, honestly,
or newer teams. You know, newer teams.
I can live with that, I guess. But like, for the Jets, they haven't earned anything. I'm a huge Smiths fan, and all I can think of this team is you just haven't earned it yet, baby.
And that's absolutely true. All right, so what I want to do is I think they got another comment here, and then we're going to get to some 80s trivia. We're going to end out Tyreek killing his lies. Lisa. Yeah, I see. It's Lisa.
It's Lisa. Okay, cool.
That's
I'm
how it's
assuming-
pronounced.
Can you? I not being funny, male, female. I just don't want to insult you.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. Maybe clear that up for us.
Just and I'm not a pronoun mafia guy or anything. I just want to make sure that I'm just addressing you correctly. Just because I don't want to alienate a friend.
Absolutely, or a viewer, someone who likes to comment. We appreciate that.
100%.
You could be a ZZ Zim, and if you watch this show, I'm good with you. All right, so check it out, Maddie.
Oh fuck! I've had drinks and this is gonna go poorly. Let's do it.
I have 3 in TV.
Let me.
I have 1. I have 4 in movies and 1 in music.
All right.
And once again, these things, the reason I bring them up, the reason they're like this is because I think up the trivia questions randomly, and then I'll type them into my phone. And if I need to get a detail, like what exact year or something came out, but I'm not trying to ask people things that I wouldn't expect myself.
You're not playing a game. You're not trying to trick anybody. I honestly have been looking forward to this all week. I'm excited.
All right, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, do you want the one out of music? Do you want me to go movies, or do you want me to go TV?
We're gonna do them all anyway, so it doesn't matter. Hit me with the horn.
All right, here we go. This is going to be it. The first one is music, and people can play along in the chat if they want to, because after I end the show, I can go back and I can actually see, because I'd love other people to come on to challenge Maddie or to challenge Dr. Ocho or anything like that. I actually just lost Maddie. Can you believe this? This happens at the end of shows, folks. I just start to lose people, and I'm going to get them back right now.
My bad. Sorry, I clicked something stupid. My bad.
That's all right. That's all
Not
right.
running from a challenge. I just accidentally clicked something.
All right, here we go. This is 80s trivia. We're ending out the show. We try to do this at the end of every show. Gives us a break from the Jets. And you could play along at home. I can rewatch the show with the live comments. And if you're good, I will try to get in touch with you and be like, hey, get on the show.
I need some exhibition matches.
Yeah, challenge Maddie. And one of you guys has got to go dethrone that arrogant prick, Dr. Ocho.
Gay Mysterio.
So here we go. This is music. This one's actually, I wrote, this one is not, it's pretty funny.
All right, hit me with it.
Here we go. If I were a blind black girl sculpting a hideous
hello, is it me you're looking for?
And the artist?
Lionel Richie, of course.
There we go.
You know
First
what's
question
funny?
down.
I'm going to stop you for a second. That girl was not blind, but after that video, people in public thought she was. And she was like, I can fucking see, man. Like, why are you trying to lead me around?
Well, actually, in today's society, people would be upset,
right,
that they didn't hire a blind actress.
But I just think it's hilarious because she was like, no, everybody thought I was blind. I'm like, dude, I'm an actress. Like, Tobey Maguire's not Spider-Man either.
All right, this one may be a little harder. I don't know how much you know about horror.
Oh, I'm your Huckleberry.
Okay, yeah, because I'm a big fan. Huge fan of horror. Obviously,
okay, hold on. Before we go on,
crap in my background.
Those are all the Jason figures from NECA. Like, I am down. So.
Oh, I got the Jason Lives one right over there.
Oh, dude, Jason Lives is still one of my favorites.
It's my favorite Friday the 13th period. It's
I love them all.
I mean, I don't love them all. Jason X I could do without.
Okay, well, Jason X doesn't count. I go up to like 8, where that's where we draw the line.
You know what? I don't hate Jason Goes to Hell. I see what they were trying to do.
It's different. I don't hate it, but I if I'm gonna like have like the group, it's 1 through 8. And even Jason Goes to Manhattan, which was shot in fucking Vancouver, is retarded, but whatever.
I actually wish I could show you. I have a screen accurate Jason Lives costume that I made myself, and it includes that mask and that hood. That's a Jason Lives mask, and it's not exactly screen accurate, but it's as close as you're going to get. When I put it on, I mean, I'm a pretty big guy. I'm 6'2". So I'm
5'6", dude. So yeah, we're gonna look like the fucking extras from Twins if we hang out.
All right, here we go. So here we go. This is the first movies question. Once again, comment down below if you think you know the answer. Anyone? Actor Chris Sarandon, who
Fright
played
Night.
Prince. Hold on.
Sorry.
Who played Prince Humperdinck in The Princess Bride and was the voice of Jack Skellington in Nightmare Before Christmas, starred in these two highly popular horror movies in 1985 and 1988.
Well, you got Fright Night,
There's one.
where he played what was his character's name, just so I can look like I'm really smart? Jerry Dandridge.
There you go. I was about to say it.
And in 1988,
Fright Night is one of my favorite, probably my favorite vampire movie, period.
Here's a fun fact about Fright Night. You remember how he ate an apple in that?
I know. Come on. Do you know? Come on. This
right,
is what
hold
I
on.
did for 10 years.
All right, well, it's because he was supposed to be descended from a fruit bat.
There you go.
See, I know my shit.
That's it, man.
1988. What the hell was he in?
I'd say this one's even more famous, especially as time went on, than Fright Night.
Fuck, I'm trying to think. When you say it, I'm gonna know it. I'm trying to think. I can.
Oh, you'll know it.
1988. What was he in? Shit, I'm gonna have to take the L on this one because I've been drinking.
Well,
and I'm.
You got one right.
Give me a little bit. Give me a taste.
You'll I can't. It's
Is
too
it like a
famous of
vampire
for me
movie? Is
to-
it After Dark? Was it
No.
After Dark?
Maybe I'm talking about a specific movie from 1988, and it's it's literally, when you hear it, it's like one of the most famous horror movie you could.
I'm
not giving you all that. I can't.
I know. I just have to ask in case you're gonna
By
break.
the way, anyone watching, hit the like button. It helps out in the algorithms. Hit the subscribe button. All of that stuff. I really appreciate it, and I appreciate you sticking around for some 80s trivia here at the end of the show. It's what we
Shit,
like
let
to
me take
do.
on it just in the interest of moving the show forward.
Okay, well, you got one right, you got one wrong, so you have a point and a half. The other one was 1988's Child's Play.
He was in Child's Play?
He was the cop.
That's right. Fuck me.
Yeah, man. Fright Night and Child's Play, man. He is a horror movie icon.
Just put Chucky in Dead by Daylight.
So here we go. This one is worded weird. So this is almost like it's almost a trick the way I worded this one. So just figure it out. Work it out in your head.
All right, hit me.
This famous 80s Cleveland Indians catcher, or I'm sorry, let me rephrase. Famous 80s Cleveland Indians catcher Jake Taylor went on to portray Lieutenant General James Longstreet in this 90s American war movie.
Well, he was in Platoon. It's Tom Berenger.
Okay, good. You got that.
This is what is it? No Way Home?
Hold on. I'll say it again just because the general kind of gives it away. He went on to portray Lieutenant General James Longstreet in the 90s, in this 90s American war movie.
What year was this movie released? Can I have that?
Off the top of my head.
Okay, if you don't have it, it's fine.
But I would say early, I'd say like 92, 93.
The Substitute?
I'm sorry.
No, that's not it.
The answer? Gettysburg.
I never saw Gettysburg.
Oh, man, you're missing out. It's long, but it's good.
I'll put it on my list. Like I say, of course, it's Tom Berenger. Big fan.
Yes, you did catch that. So that's good.
Yeah, no, I never saw Gettysburg. Okay.
Here we go. Here's our next one, still in the category of movies.
I need some wins here.
This director of Kentucky Fried Movie also directed the Michael Jackson Thriller music video.
Well, is it one of the Zuckers or is it Jim Abrahams? It's Jim Abrahams if it's a director, because otherwise Kentucky Fried Movie was the Zucker brothers and Jim Abrahams. So I'm gonna go with.
You know what? I bet I wrote this wrong because I thought he directed it. Maybe he wrote it.
The Abraham brothers also wrote that movie.
You may have gotten me on this. I'm going to give you permission because I can't get it up right now. Look up Kentucky Fried Movie.
No, I'm a huge fan of Kentucky Fried Movie. Like, believe me. Hang on.
Maybe oh man, this might be on me.
Kentucky Fried Movie was directed by John Landis,
There it is. Then I was right. The answer is John Landis.
Okay. Directed by, but okay.
Yep. I figured.
He didn't write the Kentucky Fried Movie.
No, but I said director.
Okay.
I said
All
this
right,
director of Kentucky Fried
no,
Movie.
I
also
love the
directed
Kentucky Fried Movie.
And I believe John Landis also might have done American Werewolf in
He
London.
100% did.
There you go.
Which is one
There
of my
you go.
favorite horror movies of all time.
Let's see what's going on here. Oh, yeah, the Waffler. Hey, you stick around. See if you can answer a few. Maybe we get you on the
Chat
show
has
to
to deep-ball me. Ugh.
Let's see here. All right, here we go. Next one. This is the last one in the movies. Then we got 3 TVs. Here we go. These were the stereotypes of the main characters in the letter Dear Mr. Vernon in 1985's The Breakfast Club.
The stereotypes? Well,
Yep, this is what they called themselves.
You had the jock, the loser.
Yep. The jock, the athlete. I'll give you.
Okay. The preppy, or the popular girl.
They call her. That's hard. It's technically the princess.
Okay. And then there's the jock, and then the brain.
The brain. So you got the brain, the athlete, and the princess.
How many are there?
Give you 2 more.
2 more? Okay. I just want to make
you
sure.
You have Ali Sheedy and Judd Nelson.
You've got the outcast or the loser.
She's called the basket case.
Okay, the basket case. And then you've got the burnout.
The criminal.
God damn, dude.
I'm not even going to play correct or wrong. You knew all the characters. You knew what they were. But in the letter that they send in the end to Mr. Vernon, the principal,
that's fair. Give me the L on that one because I've watched that movie 100 times.
I can give you a half point.
I'll take
Moving on. Okay, we got our final 3. These are the TV ones. Here we go.
I sucked at TV last time. Fuck.
This might be easier. At least the first one. At least the first question. You didn't get it last week when I did a TV show theme. I'm going to give you another chance. Here we go.
Please, Jesus.
And remember, folks, you can comment down in the comments.
At least Ocho's not here shit talking me.
Here we go. Sometimes the world looks perfect. Nothing to rearrange is the opening lyric to this TV show that debuted in 1986. And I will sing it just like I did last time. Sometimes the world looks perfect. Nothing to rearrange.
Is this Perfect Strangers?
There we go.
It was one of those.
Sometimes you just.
Where it tickles you just a little bit. I'm like, it's gotta be right.
All right. Good. There's another point.
God knows I fucking need them.
Oh, you know what? This is the last question. It's on 2 pages on my phone. Like, when you type shit. And then, so it's 2 pages, but it's the last question. This one's a little tough. Now, you said you have a 16, 17-year-old daughter?
I do.
Maybe she watched. Maybe. Here we go. Oh, no, it might have had to be in reruns. Here we go. Robert Carradine, famous for playing Louis Skolnick in the Revenge of the Nerds franchise, went on to star in 65 episodes and a movie of this 2000s Disney Channel TV show.
Okay, this is 2000s, so
it is 2000s. I will repeat for those at home. Robert Carradine, famous for playing Louis Skolnick in the Revenge of the Nerds franchise, went on to star in 65 episodes and a movie of this 2000s Disney Channel show.
I can promise you I don't know this. I don't watch the Disney Channel. I don't like most of their programming. And I'm just going to tell you I'm angry with you because you could have just asked me how Anthony Edwards broke his leg in Revenge of the Nerds 2, and I could have just said playing chess and looked really smart. So you're dead to me.
It's too easy to go right Revenge of the Nerds. You have to have a little
Revenge of the Nerds 2. Come on.
No, that's fair.
Shit. I honestly, I don't, dude. I never watched the Disney Channel.
You know what? I can't give you full credit, but I'm going to give you a hint.
Okay.
The star of this show is now a grown woman.
I would hope so.
And she married, I believe, a professional hockey player.
Well, then that would probably be Candace Cameron Bure.
No. But she was never on a Disney Channel show in the 2000s.
Oh, dude, I
Candace Cameron is much older than this person.
Oh, was it? Oh, who's that other chick that married? Was it? Fuck.
Before there was Hannah Montana, there was.
You're trying so hard to help me, and I have nothing. I never watched a Disney Channel. Like I mean, dude, I was watching. I deserve it.
The answer is Lizzie McGuire. That, by the way, that'd be Hillary Duff, who
I honestly was thinking. I was like, well, Hillary Duff, but she's not married to a famous hockey player, but she is married to Mike Comrie.
Yep.
And I think they divorced. Fuck me, dude. You know what? I should just resign from this competition because I am garbage.
No, next week, 90s. My show was always, for 10 plus years, before the Midnight Mike show even, was always 80s and 90s
I feel like
culture.
Tony Soprano in that episode where the recession hits and he's like, I'm depressed and ashamed.
Do you know I'm literally from New Jersey, where that, like, literally every town they mention, every scene, I'm like, oh yeah, oh look at that. I don't know. Do you know I never watched that show until like a couple years ago. It was the first time I watched it all the way through.
It's a great show.
Oh, absolutely a great show. And you want to know what really fucking pissed me off? I was watching it, and I was watching the last season, and I thought it was broken up like into somehow. So when the last episode happened, I thought I still had like 6 more episodes.
Oh, really?
So when it ended, I was like, ooh, I can't wait to see what happens.
Oh, I got it worse than you.
Oh, what happened?
Because when that show happened, I had my buddy and I came over. He's like, oh, you got HBO. We thought the cable went out.
Oh, shit.
So I was like, what the fuck is it? I was like, holy shit, what a bad time for the cable to go out. So
absolutely.
We thought like we just got gypped out of the real ending until like the next day when you could go online and they're like, no, that was the real ending. And we're like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Because we literally thought that the cable just went out.
Yeah, I honestly thought I had more episodes, so I was so pumped. And then, like, when you're watching, I think I watched it on HBO Max a couple years ago. When you're watching a series and the last episode ends, it'll immediately, the next thing it'll play is the start of like another series.
Right.
That's what ended up happening. I was like, wait, what the fuck is going on here? And I'm like clicking back and I'm like searching and I'm like, where? Because then it left the you're watching thing. And so I'm like searching, I'm putting it in SOP, I'm putting it
right. And you're like, there has to be like a 6.3 or something.
Yeah, I was so pissed off, and then I complained to my wife and everything, and then she was like, "No, it was a good episode. You just need to whatever." And I
basically everybody told us we weren't smart enough to get it, and it took us a while to accept it.
Well, yeah, and I no, well, once I thought about it and like was over the shock of. I was so pumped to see what fucking happened. And I thought,
well, then the director came out and said, look, Tony gets whacked at the end. You just don't see it.
Yeah. Did he say anything about the family? Because Meadow was still outside being an idiot.
No, what he basically says is it goes down. Tony gets shot. Life goes on. But he never really says anything about anything else.
Okay.
But David Chase has been very I'm going to tell you enough.
Yeah.
But I will say this. As much as I love the Sopranos, and I really enjoyed 6 Feet Under, I maintain that True Detective Season 1 is the best 8 hours of television that has ever been put on any channel at any time. And if you haven't seen it, I promise you, watch it, thank me, send me a fruit basket. You will be like, holy shit, this was amazing.
That said, from a guy who clearly never saw Melrose Place season 3 and 4.
All right, you are dead to me. I promise you, though, watch True Detective season 1, and you'll be like, holy.
Is that on HBO?
Yeah, no, it's they have a season 4 is going on now with Jodie Foster, but trust me, season 1 has Matthew McConaughey and Woody Harrelson. It came out 10 years ago. And let me explain to you how amazing it was. It came out in January of 2014. The first 3 episodes came on. I watched the first one. I was like, holy shit, this is amazing. So the 3rd episode ended with like okay, we're getting to like a big thing. The next week was the Super Bowl. So I'm sitting there going, hell yeah. I got the Super Bowl, and then I got True Detective. And they didn't show True Detective because the Super Bowl was on. And I've never been more angry in my life because I literally would have not watched the Super Bowl if I had to choose.
Wow. That's
I'm
that's
telling
pretty
you,
crazy.
like, look, just trust me. Watch episode 1, like today or tomorrow, if you get time. It's only an hour. And then shoot me a message on Twitter and just tell me.
I'll tell you right now, there's no chance I'll have tomorrow. There's 2 championship games going on.
What time do you get up in the morning?
Well, actually,
it's an hour.
No, you ready for this?
Hit me.
Tomorrow, my wife has she does photography, and my kids are sleeping over the in-laws tonight.
Oh, okay.
So she has a studio that she shares with her mom because her mom does pottery and all this. So she does photography. So she's going over there at like 10 or whatever to do these things, and then her mom is meeting her there with the kids at 12. And I said, so you're telling me that there'll be no one except me and you in this house. You're leaving probably around 9 or 10 or whatever you leave to go over there. And you guys aren't going to be back till like 1 p.m. I said, I'm not setting an alarm. No. I'm literally going to see how long I can sleep.
Yeah, but I'm telling, as a middle-aged man myself, you're not going to sleep in.
I know. I said that to her. I said, you know what? I'll be up at 9:30.
I'm just telling you, you're like, make your coffee, get a donut. I'm telling you, if you realize, okay, I got an hour where there's nothing going on, I promise you, you're going to DM me tomorrow if you do it. If not, it'll be whenever you watch it, and you'll be like, I think you might be right. And then by episode 3, you're going to be like, I'll deny this on air, but yeah, you were totally right.
Well, you know what we're watching right now? What me and my wife are watching right now? We're watching Fargo season 5.
I really want to get into Fargo.
It's worth it.
It's one of those I just haven't gotten around to it. I don't know if you watched Yellow Jackets. Yellow Jackets is really good.
Well, Fargo's one of those shows where each season is its own contained story.
That's how True Detective is.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, I can't name. I think there was one with I think there might have been one with Chris Rock where he was the leader of like it was back in like gangsta era. Yeah, okay. Not gangster. And yeah, he was like part of the black gang, and there was an Irish gang and an Italian gang. Then there was one with one season with Kirsten Dunst and her actual real life husband. It was outstanding. The first season is very similar to the movie. But still a different story. Good. But I'm telling you, it's great. This season,
Dunst was a childhood crush of mine.
Oh, me too.
And when my hair grows out, I look just like the guy she married.
Oh yeah, I can see. I
feel so gypped because I never got my shot.
Well, here's my problem with Kirsten Dunst. I always had a huge crush on her. Because I was around her age when Interview with the Vampire, and then Drop Dead Gorgeous.
Interview with the Vampire. She's a great actress.
Yeah, Drop Dead Gorgeous and Jumanji.
Drop Dead Gorgeous is one of my favorite films of all time.
So funny. It's so
funny. And not on streaming. I've actually listened this week to like 3 or 4 podcasts about that movie, and I love that film so much.
Well, what happened is me and my wife were watching Jumanji with the girls, and she comes on screen with her braids. She identical to my oldest daughter.
Really?
Like literally identical. And I was like, God damn it. I was like, I don't like Kirsten Dunst anymore.
Yeah, forget it. We're done here.
Like that fucking ended that real quick.
That's funny.
But yeah, no, she's great in Fargo. I think
she's wonderful in most things. I mean, she's a great actress. She's great in Becoming a God in Central Florida or whatever it is too. It's fun to just watch the actors and actresses we grew up with. that still have their careers and are still doing a great job.
Yeah.
Like with Christina Ricci, I saw her in Casper when I was a kid, and now she's in Yellow Jackets, and Yellow Jackets is a wild ass ride.
Yeah, actually, I actually love what she's doing. And I'll tell you off air, she grew up a few towns over from me.
That's cool.
But regardless, I like what she's doing in Wednesday.
Yeah, I was really excited for that. Those Addams Family movies were fantastic.
They were fantastic, and Wednesday is fantastic.
Wednesday's great. Like me and my wife and the girls, we all watch it when it comes on. And I will always maintain I love Angelica Houston. I've always loved her. She is my favorite Morticia, which is not to disparage any of the previous Morticias, but God, Angelica Houston was so good.
She was good. I don't think look, facially, I'm gonna say I think like Catherine Zeta-Jones is much hotter. But the way she played Morticia and the way they used her eyes, was amazing.
Catherine Zeta-Jones just looked like you could just see the layers of makeup on her, though. For me, I just couldn't see around it. I was like, because Catherine Zeta-Jones is naturally pretty. I was like, why is she caked in makeup? And you're frozen. All right, well, we're back to the old Matty Jets subbing in for like the scene in Drop Dead Gorgeous when the reporter dies. Let me go into the comments here and see what I can say. Last one I see is the Waffler. Child's playing Fright Night. Mike, when you're back, please jump in. So speaking of horror, just to go back in, I don't know if you guys are gamers or whatnot, but Dead by Daylight, great show. Oh, I don't know if you can even hear me anymore. I hope you can. I'm still there. All right. There we go.
I lost you.
It happens. Yeah,
I just 30 seconds again.
I ran with it for a few minutes.
All right. So but regardless, yes, I think Wednesday's awesome. I love the fact I love the fact that Christina Ricci came back. I was kind of hoping. Did you ever see it? Wasn't real. I thought it was originally, but did you ever see that like AI image of Christina Ricci as Morticia?
Yes,
I would have loved if she would have played Morticia.
100%.
Yeah, that would have been really cool. And that girl who plays who's in Scream, what's her fucking name?
Which one? There's like 30 of them.
The one who's in Scream who plays Wednesday.
Jenna Ortega?
Yes, she
is. Okay, you're talking like later ones. Yeah, she's fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely. But look, they've busted me out of here twice already, which means that I gotta get going. So as of right now, I guess unofficial co-host, but soon I feel like you're gonna be my co-host.
I would be happy to do it if you'll have me.
I mean, it seems like something we could work on because we both love horror. We both love
viewers.
We both love history. We both love talking other sports, and we both love the Jets. Well, we hate the Jets.
If the viewers are okay with me being part of the show, cool. If not, I'm happy to guest here and there. But I would love to join the show because one, I think you and I have a very good chemistry.
Absolutely.
But if you hate me, comment. If you want me the hell out of here, you don't want to hear my bullshit, I'm okay with that.
As Ocho's at his computer.
Show. So if it's if I'm detracting from what you enjoyed earlier, kick me the hell out of here. But if not, I'd love to just, like I say, I plan on coming on every Saturday because I have a great time. And my daughter was like, "Dad, are you doing the show this week? Can I come and hang out?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm sure it's fine." But I don't want to assume anything. I don't want to take anything away from the show. This is not my show. So I appreciate the thought.
Listen, I want you to come on every week. Obviously, we have good banter. You save me when my internet goes out, and you've got this nice feud going on with Ocho. Next week, 90s trivia. We're going to go into some 90s stuff. We're going to continue to have fun on this show. And I personally, I know Ocho's typing right now. No, Maddie's ruined the show. But
I'm going to get messages on Twitter like crazy.
But I'm all for it. So yes, please call in every week.
Absolutely.
Like I said, some weeks I may have to, because Honest Abe and I do that other show. So if he can get on early, He
for
goes
sure.
to bed, he goes to bed a lot earlier, but if he can get on early, I'll get him on for like 10, 20 minutes, and then I'll bring you right on, maybe with him even at points.
Yeah. I haven't listened to you guys' show. I didn't know it was out yet. I did comment on one of their things because you guys' show has like more pop culture, right?
For what? For the Jet show I do with him?
For the Jets thing. Do you guys do more pop culture, or is that just
No.
show?
Me and him is just Jets.
Okay, I wasn't sure. I haven't heard it yet. I guess there's like a whole network over there.
There is, and honestly, there is a lot that it. I've talked to him about it. There's a lot of confusion when it comes to like the podcast feeds on like Spotify and Apple Podcasts and all that. The YouTube channel is completely different, and then the website. They're working on the website. I like them to get more uniform across the board, but as of right now, yes, I am hosting the show with Honest Abe, but I'm still an outsider, so I have no room to tell them what to do with their stuff.
I got you. I had just commented on his thing because it seemed like they had a pop culture thing going. If they wanted a comic book like guy on there, if they open that area, I would be interested in doing that just because I'm a big comic book guy and have been since the 80s. But, whatever.
Right, real quick, DC or Marvel?
DC.
Oh, me too. Unbelievable, man. I'm telling you, I'm right now looking. I'm a huge Batman fan. I love Green Lantern. And I am looking right down there. I could walk over and I have Long Halloween. I have The Killing Joke. Nice. My favorite is the comic. What is it? Something in New Dawn when Hal Jordan loses the Green Lantern and Kyle Rayner gains it.
Emerald Dawn, or no, not Emerald Dawn. It's Emerald
New
Rebirth.
Dawn. Yeah,
Rebirth.
Or no.
Well, here's the thing. So I hate I feel like I'm always like resume splaining. I'm that guy who's like, well, actually, I have every issue of Batman and Detective Comics since like 1977.
That's awesome.
I have every issue of The Flash since 1972. I have every issue of Daredevil since 76. I have pretty much every Punisher comic that's been released, and there are a lot of bad ones. My comic cred is there. My favorite Batman story of all time is Dark Knight Returns.
I think I have that sitting over there too.
I have a signed Frank Miller Batman up on that shelf.
Nice.
One of these days, we should just do like an aside where I just get to brag about all the shit I have.
Well, you'll definitely beat me in comic knowledge because I'm like on again, off again. So like I was huge into it when I was a kid. Like I said, I loved even into my teens, Killing Joke and
Killing Joke was the first Batman comic I ever read.
Yeah, Long Halloween and that series.
Brilliant. So good.
The whole series, the
Hush,
three of them.
Another amazing series.
Hush, I was gonna bring that up, and
Love
I think it's a more rare issue when Superman comes in where it's a black and white cover and it's sketched. Oh man, Hush! That's when I got back into.
I like I say, I've been a comic guy for a long time, and what got me into comics was I was always a big reader as a kid, and in the 80s we didn't have the internet, so I'm like, well, shit, I've read every Stephen King book. What do I read now? And my buddy's like, yo, man, check out The Killing Joke. So I read it, and I was like, holy shit, this is amazing.
Yeah.
So then I read, Dark Knight Returns, and then I started reading Batman every month. And if you love comics, and obviously you like Alan Moore, you need to read Miracle Man.
Oh, okay. Suggestions?
We can talk about Miracle Man off camera because I know that there's shit that has to go down tonight. But trust me, Google it, look it up. Alan Moore wrote the first 16 issues, and then Neil Gaiman took over it. It's a whole thing. Neil Gaiman, who wrote Sandman.
Oh, you know what else? Real quick, you know what else I like? Kingdom Come.
Oh, Kingdom Come was amazing. Mark Waid is one of those guys. I hate him as a person, but he writes amazing shit.
And then I never watched it. I only read the comic back in the day, and I own it somewhere. Red Sun.
Apparently Red Sun's amazing. I have a Red Sun t-shirt.
Yeah, apparently they made a movie.
They made a motion. They might have. Yeah, they did a movie. They did a motion comic. That's Mark Miller, who he's the guy who wrote Civil War for Marvel. He basically created the Ultimate Universe. He wrote I'm sorry. We can talk about this later because I know you have.
You know what? I do have to go. All right, because we get off on it, but that's why it's good to have you here. Clearly,
I'm happy to be here.
Clearly, we are brothers from another mother because we're pretty on point in horror now, comics, American history, the Jets, some other sports. We like to talk other sports. I mean, the list goes on and on. So thank you so much for being here. I'm going to end out the show.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, and I will see you next week, and I'll hopefully
Guys,
see you
if
on
you
Twitter.
don't like me, seriously, viewers, I mean this. If you don't want me here, say so. I know it's not up to them, but their opinion is important. If you don't,
you have to remember that
funny,
but you have to remember this channel, as a Jets channel, and especially with live shows, is literally in its infancy. So it's not like there's a bunch of live shows before Maddie where I'm just kicking it and the viewers are up to the thousands and things like that. It's like this.
Oh, I thought you had a fair amount of months before me.
But well, I have a fair amount of months before you, but it's all my reaction videos to games, my Thursday videos and things like that. The live videos probably started there's probably 2 or 3 live broadcasts before you showed up.
Okay, well,
so this is a very new venture for me.
I just want to promote you. Like, I love this show, and if I'm never on it again, I still will watch. So I just want to make sure that you prosper.
Well, listen, the off season is tough. I'll tell you that right now. I knew going into this off season that my views and everything were going to plummet. I knew my days of getting 20,000 or 10,000 views on a reaction video were over. And then I said to my wife, this off season, I just need to kind of build just an identity for this show. And it seems like it's most natural for me to not only talk about the Jets, but not be like every other Jets show where right now, every week, it's another fucking mock draft. Listen, I love that stuff. I love hearing about it. You were talking about how some people put out videos every day. Oh, this offensive lineman farted, as you said. Let's talk about it. I don't want to do that. I want a different identity. So this is Jets talk most of the time. We'll always have great topics. We'll always talk about things. I'll still do a short video probably once a week. But I want to bring in other things in the off season so it's not just the same thing over and over again, and we can all have fun and the audience can have fun. And I'm not going up, as far as I know, against any other Jets content creators, and that was the point. So Jets fans who want to come in and want to just talk some Jets, but then also talk about other random things, like you said, sports, history, comics, whatever, we'll always go off onto tangents. And that's what this show will be. So it's like,
I'm excited and happy to be a part of it because, like I say, I look forward to this every week. I'm like, dude, Saturday night, getting ready. Let's rock and roll.
There we go.
So
we're going to be
there for having me.
All right. Thank you very much, Maddie. We will talk on Twitter. We will talk on, whatever else there is. I don't know if you're on Instagram. I'm on Instagram, Twitter, all that stuff. At Midnight Mike Show. You can see that down in the comments. Lisa, love this. Hey, look, thank you for being here. I do appreciate it. I appreciate all of you guys. Hit the like button, subscribe, all that stuff. Let me make sure that I didn't forget anything before I head out of here. Yeah, there it is. At Midnight Mike Show on Twitter, Instagram, and Letterboxd. If you don't know what Letterboxd is, it's basically you go on, you review movies, you give them a star rating, you put a description usually of what you thought of the movie, and that's basically what I used to do on my old show for 10 years. But what I did on Letterboxd is I always watch Joe Bob Briggs when he does his show, The Last Drive-In. I used to watch him on Monster Vision back on TNT. But yeah, Joe Bob Briggs does The Last Drive-In. He's about to have a new season coming out on Shudder. Love it to death. It's just like Monster Vision, except without the commercials. It still has a male girl. It used to be Honey, and there was a few other. Now it's Darcy. And look, it's great. So usually after those shows, I'll go on to Letterboxd and talk about the movies, and then every now and then I'll watch a random movie, like let's say The Sandlot. I don't know. And I'll go, hey, have I reviewed that yet? I've seen it 1,000 times since it came out, but I haven't reviewed it on Letterboxd. Boom, pop it in there. But everything, Twitter, X, Instagram, Letterboxd, at Midnight Mike Show. I do appreciate all the likes, all the comments, all the interactions. Thank you, Mets, for calling in again. I think it's 2128. I'm not really positive. I have to get that because I got Lisa, I got Hyro. Valerie, thank you for being there. Our resident female in the comments section. That is awesome. Another Saturday night is in the books, and my official, unofficial co-host Maddie will be here next week. We're going to do some 90s trivia for all of you guys. It's going to be fun. I don't know if anybody, it's been a while since I showed this, but this was right as my kids were going to bed. There we are. They were about to go to bed. This was that Monday night right before the game. Me, my two daughters, Phoebe on my left, Alice on my right. And they went up to brush their teeth. And before they could finish brushing their teeth, I walked up the stairs and announced to my wife and my daughters that the season was over because Rodgers was already down with an injury. Ridiculous. I am Midnight Mike, and I can't wait to see you next time.